Hello, Gelato Familia. What is going on? George the Disney Italiano coming to you with another Hollow Gelato Live. I got my good friend with me today, Mr. Theme Park Conductor, and we're going to discuss. Actually, this is a continuation of a conversation that he and I were having last night on the phone. And he actually brought it to my attention to say, you know what, I think we really need to talk about this. And you know what, I thought let's go live. Like, let's just do it. Why not? But in any case, I'll let you know what that conversation was in a minute. But beforehand, Conductor, how are you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing well. It's always great to hang out with Hollow Gelato. And you know how well it is to hang out with Hollow Gelato? The fact that we could do 4-hour live streams and not feel tired and go for another 2 hours, that's how awesome it is to hang out with Hollow Gelato. We are a bunch of chatty catties over here when it comes to the theme parks. We love talking about the theme parks, but I'm so glad to be on Hollow Gelato Live. We got a lot of information to talk about. Can't wait. But you can find me, Theme Park Conductor, on YouTube and Blue Sky at Theme Park Conductor, on Instagram at theme_park_conductor, on X at Theme Conductor, TikTok at Theme Park Conductor 1, and every Sunday at 5 or 7 p.m. for Conductor Sunday live stream, where we talk everything from Universal to Disney. We speculate, we talk rumors, and we have amazing guests like the one and only George the Disney Italiano from Hollow Gelato with his spicy theme park opinions that I love so much, and so many others as we break theme park news down for everybody. It's a great time. Come join us sometime.
Absolutely. And before we get to it, I'm going to say hello to everyone in the chat. We have Haunted Mermaid 13. Always a pleasure having you in. I'm just going to scroll down here. Of course, we got my babe, Abby, in the chat. We got Mr. Theme Park Wizard. We got, let's see, 7H John. We got Giant Peter Adventures. We got David. We got iShack. So we got we got Christian Sanchez. So in any case, actually Wizard kind of brought up a little kind of hint of what we're going to be talking about. And he says, busy today at USH sold out. So as you guys can probably see by our thumbnails, it is just crazy what's going on with the theme parks. And it's not just Disney, it's Universal, it's Knott's Berry Farm. And I was wondering why the last few days Universal and Knott's was showing like record number of unusual, abnormal crowds. And I'm thinking, is it just because of the holidays? Is it like what is it? And Abby was the one that said, well, if you think about it, all the Magic Keys are blocked out. And I thought, okay, that makes sense for people who are Magic Keys and they can't get in Disneyland. That okay, they're going to go to Knott's Berry Farm and Universal, and also to Wizard. Mentions the holidays and also no rain, which they are supposedly calling for rain for New Year's. And I'm thinking, oh, that's just perfect. They had a rain for Christmas, so yeah, why not let it rain for New Year's?
Oh, no, hopefully not. I'd
So
be back.
I'm hoping. But I also noticed too that even with Disneyland, I jumped on the website yesterday, and even with just the basic ticket holders, that it was, I think, for being on a Sunday, Abby said it was like $314, and it was completely sold out. No one can buy a ticket to get into Disneyland. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow was completely sold out at the time that I looked at it. And again, Magic Key holders are all blocked out. So these are all ticket holders, and they're spending a pretty penny just for it being a one-day ticket. So, and then I'll get into my Knott's story yesterday, because that was a whole debacle in itself. But Conductor, first, I want to ask you, like, what is your thought process of the parks, primarily the California parks right now? Because I feel like that seem to be like the summer crowds is what we usually get, but it seems like summer isn't the hot ticket anymore. It's basically Halloween and Christmas is like literally from like the end of August into the end of December is when the theme parks do their gangbuster numbers right now. But what say you on everything?
So it's very interesting to me that we had these crazy crowds, and you actually brought it up to my attention last night when we were talking on the phone, and like you said, Abby actually brought it to your attention was there was no magic key holders at Disneyland. It was all ticket holders, and it was sold out, filled at capacity, and I find that interesting because if both Disneyland and I don't know about DCA. I'm sure DCA was packed as well. I'm assuming, but Disneyland for sure. If this does not scream that expansion needs to happen at a faster pace than we're seeing it right now out here in Cali for not just Disneyland but also Universal. But I'm not too worried about Universal. Again, shout out to Theme Park Wizard. He posted some pictures of some updates for one of 3 security hubs at Universal. So shout out to Theme Park Wizard.
Well,
But
he even says right here in the chat that only the platinum annual pass holders can get in. Everyone else is blocked out. So even the amount of people in Universal, they're all regular ticket holders. And he said all week the tickets were like 154 a pop.
wow. See, this is the effect that both Universal and Disney is doing. But going back to Disney, though, because again, I'm not too worried about Universal. It seems like their construction progress is a lot better maintained than Disney right now, at least here on the West Coast. I have to tell you, though, because we've talked about it the last couple weeks, how, Disney is moving so slow on their construction, whether it's, the Portos or the Avengers attractions or the Eastern Gateway. And now it's funny because I had you on my live stream. I kid you not, for Conductor Sunday live stream. I think it was last week or the week prior. And I kid you not, days after we did the live stream, because I did a live stream with you and I did a live stream with Orange Go 55, like I think it was like a day or two later, all of a sudden Theme Park IQ comes out with, oh, Disneyland files permit for Eastern Gateway parking structure. Oh, and then he comes out with something else for Portos, then something else, then something. It was like almost like rapid pace. And I found that very interesting. But going back to the crowds, the fact that they can be at capacity at Disneyland with just ticket holders and not magic key holders, it really tells me right then and there that people are willing to pay the insane prices that Disney wants for you to go experience the magic for a day. So all I'm asking as someone that I consider myself an investor is, move a little bit faster on the construction. Now, when it comes to the summertime compared to the winter, I don't really see any, attraction to go run down to go visit the parks during the summer times if you're not a magic key holder. I think that's why we're seeing larger crowds for the holiday season, because there's something to enjoy. You know what I mean? That's how I see it.
That makes sense. Yeah, and I believe it was 7H John that mentioned in the comments, with kids being out of school, for their winter breaks and what have you, it's when, families can still go. And you're right. I feel like with just regular ticket holders, it's like, well, we can go and do other stuff in the summertime, but like during the holidays, it's like it gives that extra special magical feeling with, all the decorations and the lights and everything. So, and I think also too, because a lot of people had mentioned it in the chat, it's not super hot out, so it's a little bit where, I mean, even now in California, it's it's a bit brisky. It's I can't lie. So that's a beneficial factor, especially for people with kids, that they complain that, it's too hot, I'm sweating, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I want to go home, I want to ride this, I want to do that. Well, then it's like, well, then fine. The next time you pull out your wallet and you pay for it, and then so that's okay. I'll stop there. Anyway, um, um, but in any case, but yeah, you make fair points with everything. Now, I do also want to bring up another theme park, which Appy and I um, uh, experienced. What's up, Bradley Payne? Um, and we also got Remy D. Um, that we went to Knott's. We ended up taking her cousin to Knott's for the first time. And we went a little bit later. It wasn't super late, but like early afternoon, and we get down there. Now, here's the thing. For anyone who's ever been to Knott's Berry Farm, their parking sucks regardless.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm just going to call it out like it is. They don't have the parking structures like Disney or Universal. They have like 4 different parking lots that's spread out surrounding the resort, and you have to go on different streets to get to different ones. And it took us, and I kid you not, 3.5 hours to try to find a parking spot. We got down there around 1 p.m. We didn't enter the park till 5 p.m.
Jeez.
And that wasn't even just the park in general was packed, but it was so miscombobulated with even the staff because they were closing off parking lots and they're saying, okay, go down beach or go down the south end of the resort by the Knott's Hotel. They kept on sending us in many different directions and they all have been closed out. Every single parking lot was closed. So for people that traveled all the way down there, what did they do? So we ended up getting lunch. I forget the place, Abby, if you want to put it in the comments. I forget the name of the restaurant that's over by there. That we had lunch and we thought, okay, let's regroup. Let's try this again. Well, they had a lane of cars that were just waiting at
Jeez.
one of the parking lots where it's literally like a dirt
Yeah.
thing. Literally $35 to park in dirt, as our friend Mademoiselle calls it. But I could see why people get there early and pay $55 for the what's the term? The
Early parking.
like the early parking. So like $20 more, I could see why, because the hassle was just a pain. But they ended up letting a dozen cars in, and we were fortunate that we got in line at the right time, that we were one of those dozen cars. And they blocked it up again. Had we not got in, we probably just would have left and not even go in at Knott's at all.
Well, so let me ask you this, and I'm just going off on a whim here. We got Chris West in the house as well. Shout out to my main man, Chris West.
Yes.
Let me ask you, at what point, since you had to go through that and wait 3 hours just to park, at what point does the city of Anaheim, because where Knott's Berry Farm is, it's literally right next door to Anaheim. At what point does the city of Anaheim consider this a traffic issue? Spending 3 hours.
It very was like, I mean, traffic, like no matter which way you turned, there was traffic everywhere that was being blocked up because of the non-parking.
Yeah, because the reason why I bring that up, and again, thank you, Wizard, it's Buena Park. I keep forgetting that. But regardless, it's the effect of Disneyland. And I'm gonna put Disneyland in the front and center, at least for my opinion, because the fact that they only had magic key holders. The fact they only had ticket holders, and they weren't allowing magic key holders in, and they allowed so many people to go into the park and we saw the effects of it from nearby theme parks like Knott's Berry Farm, even Universal. Like Wizard was saying, they only allowed platinum pass holders in, because I saw a clip on Instagram where the line to get to security just to get into the park was backed up where Margaritaville was, and even past that. So that was ridiculous. So and again, I'm not blaming Disney entirely. Universal has a little bit to blame, because it's crowd control. And thank God Universal doesn't have the stupid reservation system that Disneyland has out here. But this is further, I'm trying to think of the terminology. It's further, how can I say it? It's making their decision that they made back in 2020 to put the reservation system in place due to COVID and probably other things they've wanted to do for a while. Why in the hell would they ever get rid of it when they're seeing numbers like that? It's
And
almost like
they're not going to. Absolutely. That's a very valid point. And as much as I can't stand the reservation system, I can't.
No.
But after the hassle that we went through yesterday with Knott's, and you're right, Disney has a lot of many different factors why they implemented the reservation system in the first place. They were bound to do it anyway, for data purposes, and then COVID really pushed it up to the front of the line and what have you. But aside from that, from the hassle that we went through Knott's, I can kind of see why the reservation could somewhat work in an odd multiverse kind of way, because when you know that you can't get a reservation, you're going to stay away from there. You're like, okay, I don't have a reservation, so obviously I can't get in. It's full capacity. I'm not going. Where with Knott's, it's open to everyone and their grandmother, and it's like, okay, yeah, we'll just go for the day.
Sure.
And sure enough, it was completely overpacked, that there was no parking spot. So it's like, okay, what if there are people that had the day off and they're like, okay, let's go to Knott's for the day, and they're spending 3.5 hours just trying to get a parking spot. And then you got to go through security. You got to go, do whatever you have to. As I said, we didn't get into the park till it was 5 p.m. Literally, the sun had already set.
That's insane. That's literally, and I'm actually on the Universal website or app right now, because Wizard said it was sold out, so I wanted to check the times. So get this. So let me bring up something you would never see. Fly the Hippogriff, the mini little coaster in Harry Potter, an hour. The Simpsons ride, 70 minutes. Secret Life of Pets, 80 minutes. Studio Tour, 90 minutes.
Wow.
Revenge of the Mummy, 100 minutes. Jurassic World, even though it's colder than hell outside, 120 minutes. We got Transformers, another 120 minutes. Forbidden Journey, 130. Mario Kart, 180 minutes. And I didn't see what Waterworld was. I don't know if they have that on there. Give me 1 second. Like Despicable Me, 45 minutes. All Vander's Experience, 35 minutes. Silly, that super silly swirly ride, 30 minutes. And Kung Fu Panda, 15 minutes. Okay, so that's ridiculous right there. That is telling me right then and there that when it comes to the security hubs that they're building, hopefully it's gonna help with crowd control, because I don't think it was very beneficial to have this big long line going through City Walk. That was kind of ridiculous. And the fact that we're seeing these wait times, yes, minus with kids being on holiday winter break, maybe the parents too with their work, maybe on vacation. That's why when when I've talked in the past about the East Coast getting all these upgrades, all these expansions, all these new attractions and shows and entertainment, it's like I get it. There are destinations. They're for it's world class resorts, both Universal and Walt Disney World. But where does it leave us on the West Coast? Because if we're seeing numbers like this, where we have pretty much the entire family is off on vacation, and they're going to these theme parks, and as I just read these wait times, at what point do these theme parks kind of say, hey, maybe we shouldn't put so much focus on the East Coast, or at least give the West Coast the same amount of love that we're doing with the East Coast?
I
Yes,
mean,
yes, we're getting two Avengers attractions that we could clearly see, but and Universal's giving us a coaster, don't get me wrong, and then we're getting all these new restaurants in City Walk, but is that enough? I don't think so.
yeah. And I do agree with 7H John. Universal LA does need more rides, because
Oh,
when you do have these kind of crowds, there's not enough, to do. So what happens? It backs up the lines every time. And also too, I actually have the screen. I'm going to share it in a second, but Wizard's absolutely correct. Even Orlando is very busy, because this is coming from Laughing Place.
okay.
That they post. And now this is just in Disney World. Now, this
Okay.
is at Hollywood Studios. I'm going to bring these, but first it says, courtesy of laughingplace.com. They do phenomenal work over there. I always follow them for everything. Remember to pack your patience if you are visiting any of the Disney parks this week. It is one of the busiest times of the year. # Walt Disney World. So this is the first photo. This is the line for Tower of Terror. They're not even in the actual queue yet.
That reminds me right there of Pirates at Disneyland, when they start doing that, and in the outdoor amphitheater, as I call it, for Fantasmic, they start throwing up line queues. I've seen Pirates ride queue, literally extended queue, go all the way towards the Haunted Mansion and Harbor Galley. That's how far I've seen it go.
And right next door. So if you look to the left side, you see this arch right here.
Yeah.
Okay. That leads into where Rock and Roller Coaster is. And I've never seen it this packed. I'm going to scroll it over. Wow. There it is for Rock and Roller Coaster.
That's insane. But then again, it's a great thing to see, though.
It is. Oh, yeah. I think, honestly, the fact that I'm not there, that's a bonus, because I don't have to deal with that. But to just watch it, yes, I'm glad that actually it's booming in the theme parks right now for Disney, for Universal, and hell, even for Knott's. I mean, because when people say that theme parks are dead, I beg to differ.
Not when we're seeing now. Give it a couple weeks or so when the kids go back to school. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of low wait times, but again, when we both seen it, and someone else brought this up, and I think it was Dave from Fresh Baked, and you even mentioned it so far in this live stream. It just doesn't seem like the peak season for the theme parks anymore is summer. It is the holiday season, starting from basically late August all the way through January. I'm going to go January 10th.
And that's why, honestly, when all these projects open, I have a feeling they'll open them around the spring, summertime.
Sure.
Because that's how they can get people down there.
Oh, yeah.
For that. It's great cross marketing and promotion. For the holidays, they don't need to add anything new. Just having the holidays, they know they're guaranteed they're going to get the crowds. Yeah. Now, in this photo right here of Rock and Roller Coaster, this is what it looks like during the holidays. But be prepared, folks, that when Rock and Roller Coaster goes down and they remove Aerosmith and transform it into the Muppets, this is what the crowds are going to look like on a regular given day when that ride first reopens. So just want to throw that out there. And I know a lot of people kind of go back and forth with, like, how can people complain? You should know what you're getting into. How can you complain that there's crowds? In a way, I can understand it. It's like, yes, you could still be frustrated. You could still give out, your thought process, like, oh my God, there's like crowds everywhere. But you can't go and say, oh my gosh, like this is nuts. Like, why, why did we do this? And it's like, well, you kind of did it. You put it upon yourself. If you're going to go into any of the parks during the holiday season, it's going to be crazy busy.
Well, it's I don't know if this is a good analogy or a bad analogy, but I'm going to go for it anyway. It's like saying trying to go shopping the day before a holiday, like Thanksgiving or like Christmas. You go shopping Christmas Eve and you complain that the malls are busy. It's like you kind of put that on yourself to wait till the last minute to go shopping, and you kind of know that the crowds are going to be there. So if you wanted to go shopping, you shouldn't have done it a couple weeks prior. Now, again, people could be shopping for groceries. I understand it, but most people have, gotten a lot smarter over the years and said, you know what, I'll just buy groceries a week before and I'll buy enough where I can at least last past Christmas and then go out and it won't be insanely busy. But it's just it's a great time for the theme parks to generate revenue. I have no problem with that. But as someone, like I said, as an investor, I want to see the theme parks give back to us. And again, we're seeing it with Universal. They're ride testing the Hollywood Drift. They're installing the glass for the screen shields. They're starting to. So that indicates that hopefully when we get back into town in late March, it will open for everybody and we'll be able to experience that. But, they're also bringing new restaurants in the City Walk. They're also updating security so it's safer, so they can possibly bring back new nighttime entertainment with a hotel that Theme Park Wizard has been constantly on since the very beginning. And then at the Disneyland Resort, we're finally seeing, hopefully, eventually, Portos go into active construction. And then, with the two Avengers attractions. But as George has it on the screen here, look at this. I haven't seen crowds like this since, I want to say...
Ever for me. I've never seen Universal Hollywood like this. Now, I was a late bloomer going into Universal Hollywood. I've always been going to Universal Orlando since I lived on the East Coast, but I don't ever recall from the times that I've been going, I've never seen it this crowded where literally people are shoulder to shoulder just to get in through security.
Okay, so I've actually seen this once before, but the line wasn't coming from City Walk. Actually, they diverted the line. So this crowd right here by security was what it was, but all that other crowd by the Universal store over there, they had line queue set up, like how you see it for HHN for Jason Universe. We saw all those switchbacks. They had a huge section in the Woodywood parking lot for those switchbacks. I remember seeing it. This was a couple years ago. I forgot what it was for. It was for, I'm pretty sure it was for HHN. It was ridiculous, but to your point, I've never seen it go in the City Walk like this. Like I said, I think Mondo had it on one of his followers posted it on his stories that literally the line went past Margaritaville. Like, I mean, right through City Walk, right past Margaritaville. I think they even went into Curious George. That's crazy. But again, this is great for the theme park, even though it's chaos. It looks like chaos, but it's great for the theme park.
Oh, absolutely. Now, 7H John is coming in with a little bit of a hot topic here. He says, I'd be okay if City Walk went away altogether.
Interesting. And what, expanded the theme park?
I'm assuming that's probably what I would think. 7H John, yeah, if you can clarify, would you do that for more like theme park space or and that's the thing with Universal Hollywood. Like they can do it. Like
Oh yeah,
obviously look what they're doing with Fast and the Furious. Like they're literally building a coaster on a hillside. Like that's crazy. That intertwines around the escalators, you know. But oh yeah, so he did confirm. Yeah, he would use it for more theme park space.
wow.
But yeah, it's crazy to know like of how Universal Hollywood can do it, but they have to do a lot of maneuvering.
Yeah.
And this is why I feel like that they can't do that right now during the holidays because look what they're already dealing with. You know, they can't afford to close things down during the holidays. Because it'd even be even more crazy.
No, absolutely. It's just absolutely nuts. And Remy D says, "Do you think the crowds in December are mostly diehards?" I don't know. It's possible. But I'm going to tell you right now,
I think,
regardless, you know,
yeah,
it's revenue for the parks.
I think, I think these are the people that are going to buy. You do have like the people that like Dave, you know, that like goes and covers stuff. Like he'll go and buy like a single day ticket, you know, for the channel purpose.
Sure.
But I think a lot of people that are willing to put out $314 and $154 per ticket per person. I think these are the people that save their money up and does this like once a year.
Yeah.
That I feel like that they're just the travelers. These are the normies that say, you know what, it's a tradition of ours. We go to the parks. You know, we travel down to Southern California one time a year during the holidays. We hit Universal, we hit Disney, we hit Knott's, and they call it a day. And then we won't see them till the holidays of 2026.
No, and Chris West says, and with that $40 parking and $80 front gate parking, cha-ching. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much of that front gate parking they're going to be able to use too much longer, because if I'm not mistaken, where the front gate parking is at currently, that's going to be taken up by the hotel space when they start building the hotel. So it makes me wonder if Universal is trying to take advantage and just charge what they want to charge for front gate, knowing that they won't be able to charge for that much longer due to the hotel being installed. And like Theme Park Wizard said, no, it's tourist. I heard many different languages today. I believe it. I 100% believe it.
Yeah, see, and actually, and Abby confirms with Wizard, and it's very true. Her cousin that we took to Knott's and Disneyland for the very first time, she's coming from the Philippines. So this was her first time going to Disneyland, going to Knott's. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to make it out for Universal.
Sure.
But yeah, she's come from the Philippines, and while she was out here visiting, she's like, okay, let me see some of like Southern California's like major attractions.
Yeah, and Chris West says the Rose Bowl crowd, and then 7H John says, I forgot about the Rose Bowl. So the Rose Bowl must have had an event, either probably not that day, but like
the Rose Bowl, I believe, is, when is the Rose Bowl? I don't know if it happened yet.
Oh, no, they're talking about the Rose Bowl parade.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it hasn't happened yet.
No. But it so that parade that happens every single year on January 1st is a major event. Attracts people from all over the world, tourists, like Wizard was saying. So again, we have another.
Can you imagine? Okay, but and for the sake of saying it, like everyone was mentioning about the the Rose Bowl and everything. Well, then, can you imagine what it's going to be like for all these places during the Olympics?
Oh my God! So the Olympics. Okay, so it's funny that you mentioned that, because I was telling my dad this. I said, here's the deal, because he wants to get tickets for the Olympics. he got to see it back in, I think it was 86. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. I think it was 86 when the LA Olympics were out here. Um, and he saw track and field, he saw the swimming, he saw all different games that were going on for the Olympics. Okay, 84. Thank you, Haunted Mermaid. So it was 84, and he's talked about going to those games once again. I told him, I said, what we got to do days before the Olympics kickoff, we have to book a hotel. I'm not even kidding about this. Book a hotel down there somewhere and get established, because getting down there, if anyone has driven the 101 like we have, I'm telling you right now, when the Olympics kick off, trying to use the 101 or any of those freeways to get into Los Angeles, it will be absolute hell trying to get through there. You will not move for hours. I'm telling you. So
Oh, yeah. Like I'm tempted, like unless something is actually like physically going on with the parks, my butt might be going down to Florida for the time being. I might be hibernating.
I don't blame you. And Chris West says, I read Disney will have a part in the Rose Bowl with America 250. I read that. So
I did too.
special.
Yeah, I literally just read that this morning, that they're going to have like the characters on a float and everything. That's going to be very interesting. Yeah, they're going to do a lot of I feel like not like super big things, but they're definitely going to utilize. I think being that like Disneyland's 70th is kind of like starting to dwindle down, they're going to use America 250 as like the next big marketing thing, especially like with Soarin'. That's going, Soarin' over America for both, at Epcot and DCA. I'm for sure they'll have a bunch of merch and probably like food specialties and stuff.
I can't wait. I cannot wait for that. And Wizard pointing out in 1984 there was no traffic. Everyone stayed at home. I don't think that's going to happen this time around. I think everyone's going to go to it, and it's going to be.
Well, here's the thing. I think residents are going to stay home. I think the people traveling in are going to be everywhere.
Yeah, more like me, because my dad wants to go. So
right. So yeah, you're going to be in the heart of it.
Great. Don't remind me. Don't remind me of that. Oh my gosh.
Before I get to Remy D's, I'm going to come back up here because 7H John had a question. Any news on what's replacing Homer Simpson?
I'm going to tell you right now, that is a question I'm going to leave the theme park wizard, because the guy is an absolute goat when it comes to theme park permits. So that is a theme park wizard comment. Personally, for me, I've stated what I would like to see go there, but again, I don't know for sure. I would like to see an extension of Harry Potter, possibly a King's Cross Station, and build the Hogwarts Express and have the expansion for Harry Potter to go into Falls Lake, but that's just a pipe dream for me. Personally, for me, if they try to wedge any like Wicked or Universal Monsters or Pokemon, I don't think that space is big enough to sit there and justify putting any other IP, either expand Fast and Furious or expand Harry Potter, and leave the lower lot and Falls Lake and maybe the extended area of Forbidden Journey for something else. Don't sit there and try to.
Do you think of using that space for like Dark Universe? I know we are all saying save it for the lower lot, save it for, put it in where they actually filmed, and I agree. But just looking at how Universal's mentality to just utilize that area for a small dark more, because the land's not that huge to begin with. They don't have to have the Curse of the Werewolf. They could just do like the Monsters, the Monsters Unchained. I don't know if they can do the Burning Blade windmill. I don't know like how like with the thing is like as far as like with Hollywood goes, if they could do that, maybe replace that with most Tavern with that, and then just kind of really call it a day, because they already have the Universal monsters up there. Dracula's already up there. Frankenstein, the Frankenstein's monster, the Bride.
So I'm going to tell you this right now. I think, and to Remy D's comment, or one of his comments, we're not talking about cloning Rise. We're just coming out with ideas, but I would like to see a Darkmoor West. And I don't think putting it in the Simpsons area is smart by any means necessary. I think since Universal Hollywood was the birthplace of the monsters from back when the studio started, I think it needs to be on the lower lot, and it needs to be as twice as big as the one in Epic Universe, with different attractions based off different monsters, and I think it needs to be twice as big.
Do you think they would really do that though? Because
Yes.
again, just speaking in Universal mentality,
Sure.
it seems like that Hollywood gets the short end of the stick. I mean, look at Super Nintendo World. Like, we're still waiting on another attraction. They didn't give us Yoshi over here.
Yeah.
They said that they were going to do Donkey Kong. We have yet to hear or see anything. Now, again, I'm not saying that they won't do anything eventually,
Sure.
but I mean, it always seems like everything that Orlando gets, they get over here, but it's the light version.
I still think we have plans for expansion in the Super Nintendo World, and I honestly do believe that we are going to get a Darkmoor West, even though it's not going to probably be called Darkmoor because that would be weird. But we're going to get a Darkmoor West, and it's going to be twice as big, and they're going to justify it by knowing that the Universal monsters were born on the Hollywood lot and not in Orlando. So I think we have many things to come, and Wizard's going to be on top of it. I know he will. But I think what we're going to see right now is what Disneyland's doing. But Universal might be doing it at a little bit faster pace, but who knows? I think what's going to happen is once the security hubs are done, okay, and once we start seeing active construction for the hotel at the same time, I can almost see it where we're going to start seeing construction for another land at Universal Hollywood, no matter what it might be. I think it's going to start the same time as the hotel, because the thing is, right now, Universal Hollywood does not have an on-site hotel. I think their first step is to upgrade the security, which they're doing with the 3 security hubs, to kind of create like a Disney bubble, but in this case, Universal bubble. They're going to bring back nighttime entertainment. They're going to build the hotel. And like I said, at the same time, they're going to at least build maybe a attraction, several attractions, or a whole land. And Wizard pointed out, this was almost a year ago, it seemed like, maybe even less, where we saw permits for all these different attractions. Some of them were for the studio tour, some of them were for the theme park. There were buildings that were going to be moved, studio buildings, like we heard that the Studio Post building next to the wood mill would be moving to the creative campus, and I think it did. And then the wood mill building that they use for studio purposes for set design, that's getting built right now next to Earthquake. They're ripping down half of 6 Point, Texas for other stuff. So I think there's a justification what Universal's doing. It's the same thing we're seeing at Disneyland with the Eastern Gateway project. They don't want to build Avatar until the Eastern Gateway is at least a quarter away, if not halfway, if not almost done, which is crazy, but that's how I see it. Oh, you're muted.
Sorry, thank you. I had a cough anyway. So, I do have a question for you, being that you had mentioned that. But
Sure.
before I do, I want to get to remedies first.
Sure.
Do you think Universal will do a price hike after the release of Hollywood Drift
Probably.
For annual pass?
Probably. So my best recommendation right now, if you're not a Universal Pass holder, the best option, if you can afford it, the best option right now is the Platinum Pass. You get free parking, and I think they're still running the special deal. Wizard, correct me if I'm wrong, but they're still running the special deal where if you buy a Platinum Pass for the year, you get 3 months free. So 15 months of the pass for Platinum. So definitely I would take advantage of it, because we are all thinking that Hollywood Drift is probably going to open probably sometime in March, maybe April. And I'm telling you right now, prices probably will go up, but you will be locked in to your Platinum Pass price, what you're paying, whether you pay the whole thing off all at once, or you pay monthly. So I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, and and to 7H John, does Universal ever build non-IP rides?
No, I don't think so.
Once in a while, I think it more happens like down in Orlando. Like of course they did like Rip Ride Rocket, but of course Rip Ride Rocket came out where obviously they're going to put in an IP, and I feel like that's just the way it's going now with theme parks, primarily for Disney and Universal. I feel like that they want IPs that people can recognize and say, "Hey, I love that movie, or I love that, show, or what have you." It's like, let's go check that out.
Wizard and Remy D said Stardust Racer, so that's a non-IP.
Yeah, Stardust Racer.
And Remy D said the other one to a carousel, as well. So,
in Universal,
what?
A carousel in Universal?
Yeah, Remy D posted it. It's right above Theme Park Wizard.
No, I'm just trying to figure out. I'm trying to remember what the carousel is. That's a non-IP.
I wonder if it was an Epic.
Oh yeah, duh.
Epic.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, it's that very unique carousel that it like intertwines in the.
Yeah,
that's right.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I went blank there for a second. I'm thinking, where is there a carousel in Universal? Like,
I defended you, man. You were there.
I know, but as I said, not to my fault. Even with Epic, like as I said, I could not like focus right, like because of like my kidney stone. And I actually was really curious of trying that carousel, but then I thought, okay, me with a kidney stone,
no,
I can get up. My thing is, how am I getting down off this thing? That's going to be I'm afraid like I'm going to lift my leg and something's going to tear. It's like,
yep, not good, not good.
So Wizard said something I heard is LL expansion opens 2029, which means it would start next year.
Lower lot.
The lower lot, yeah. So I mean, I can understand that because, I mean, even with Coco at DCA, we're all kind of anticipating Coco would probably be done around 2028, 2029, around the same time. But he said that's just a rumor. But, I mean, at some point, they're going to have to start something because they're going to want something intertwined with the Olympics. But before I move on,
Sure.
Oh, wait, there was one more. I actually agree with Ishak. I really think Luigi's Mansion would go perfect in Hollywood with the Super Nintendo, because one, it also gives another family kind of oriented ride where if you kind of have like a not like a shooter based ride, but where you like use the lights, sort of like how they do with the Monsters Inc. Hide and Go Peek kind of thing, where you shine the light and everything. I think that would be really cool.
I think so. Personally, for me.
Let's see. Oh, we also got Rudio in the house. If you get the Platinum Pass, you get to slap the milkshake out of one kid's hand.
There you go. I love it.
Of course. Oh, thank you, Remy D. Yeah, I couldn't remember the name of it. Constellation Carousel. That was it. So here was my question, and this is a hot take. Now, again, I'm not saying that I want this, folks. I'm just asking in the way how Universal in the future, we all know that how um films are being made and production is being done where people are actually going out of country and going actually to landmark places to film because it's much cheaper. A
Yeah.
lot of people aren't utilizing sound stages anymore and lots and everything. Do you think in time it would be to Universal Hollywood's best interest? Now, I'm not saying tomorrow, I'm not saying next year, I'm saying years down the road. Do you think that they could possibly get rid of the tram tour altogether and just go full blown theme park?
I don't know. This is
Now
a tough.
again, don't answer it of like how you would want it, because just like how you and I, we would say hell no, don't get rid of the tram tour. Just
Yeah.
speaking of Universal's mentality, could that ever be?
Okay. So what? I'm gonna just read Wizard's comment real quick. He says, "Yes,
Oh
get
yeah.
rid of it.
Um,
Universal Hollywood, 400 acres. Use it all. Do it yesterday. I made a whole video on this. To be honest with you, I would agree with Wizard if Comcast was able to buy WB, because the way I would have done it is still had the studio tour, but it would be a separate attraction you pay for. They would have almost like a sky bridge, an industrial, almost like freeway type sky bridge that goes from Universal to Warner Brothers, and it would do the studio tour both on Universal property and Warner Brothers property, but it would be more shrunken down on Universal side than it would be WB, and they could do it that way. But
Wizard, I think that's very interesting, because I would have thought literally Wizard would have been like, don't touch it. Like,
yeah,
that's like Holy Land. But that's very interesting, Wizard, that you're just like 400 acres. Let's go. Get rid of it. It should have been gone yesterday. That's very
yeah.
interesting.
No, it's interesting, but also too, what kind of limits Universal and handicaps them in a way is the fact that they weren't able to close the deal on WB now, and years past they weren't able to close the deal with that golf course across the street, so they're landlocked where
See,
they are.
but in time, I think everything has a price. Right now, they
Yeah,
can't get the golf course, but I think somehow, some way, it's going to land in the someone's hands, and they're going to be like, for the right price, you know what, Universal, you could have the golf course. You know?
exactly. And
So,
now, oh, go ahead.
Mademoiselle says no. The studio is Hollywood / LA / SoCal unofficial landmark. There's nowhere on the planet that has a Hollywood. But then Wizard is saying that he hates the studio tour.
Wow.
He's been saying it for years. Take it out, take it out, take it
Yeah.
out. And he's saying it's so boring. I think it's more so because with it being a tour, and I get it, it's the nostalgia of it, but I think there's no updated stuff. It's
No.
everything is so predictable. We know what's gonna, even though that is a ride, but when you're doing a tour, it's
Yeah.
the same spiel over and over again. I think, and this is where I think it would cost Universal a lot of money. The turnaround for that, they would constantly have to be changing out scenes and what have you. Although I will say that the Nope scene should have never even been put in my
No.
personal opinion. I cannot stand that scene. I despise it with a passion. Like,
Yeah.
Nope is Nope.
Yeah, I know. It just, and Wizard was saying that I just hate it, and it seems like it's a waste of space. In a way, it is, but it's very unique to any theme park, because other theme parks back in the early 2000s, late 90s tried to do something very similar. We saw it at Walt Disney World with MGM Studios. We saw it with Universal Orlando. They tried to have studio tours out there, and it was not successful. Ours, is very unique. We're one of the last ones to have it. But I agree with Wizard, and I agree with you, George. If they're not going to add new things for the studio tour, and it's going to be the same old things, same spiel, why even keep it going? Use it for theme park space. That's what people want. We want to see a Diagon Alley. I know, Wizard, I'm going to get you upset, but I'm just saying, figuratively, example. We want to see a Diagon Alley. We want to see a Nintendo expansion. We want to see Dark Universe. We want to see Pokemon. We want to see, all these theme park expansions. We want to see this stuff. And again, not acquiring WB, because that didn't work out. Not acquiring the golf course years ago, that didn't work out. And them trying to go back and forth with the studio, trying to even HHN. I think it was 2018 or 2019 was the last time we saw HHN and John Murray be able to use the Metro sets, because when COVID went down in 2020, the studios to this day have been trying to catch up on projects for commercials, for movies, for TV shows, for promos, for all this other stuff. So even HHN is getting way overcrowded because they can't utilize the backlot like they want to with the Metro sets. So that's just another example. So again, if Universal does not want to, add new things to the studio tour, and how long has it been, George, since we had the tram accident? I'm still saying it was totally suspicious, but the tram accident through the Universal Park, the universe,
that was in the very beginning of the anniversary of the tram tour, right? Yeah.
Yeah, 2024. So it's almost 2 years now. 2 years, almost 2 years that area has been locked up. And the last week any of us saw of it, they were turning the old Fast and Furious attraction that thing was horrible, but I'm not going to get into that. But they were turning it into some type of Jurassic World experience, the padlock or something like that. And that's the last we saw of it. So it's like, again, if they're not going to do anything, I agree with Wizard. Get rid of it. You would probably save so much money on energy, because now all the trams are electric, and they're spending money on charging the trams. They're spending money on mechanics to maintain the trams. They're spending money on probably new batteries for the trams when they go bad. And they're spending money on tour guides. If they're not going to offer anything new for the studio tour, I don't know. I'm going to lean towards what Theme Park Wizard was saying and get rid of it and build us more theme park space.
Okay. And really quick, Wizard, I kind of want to pick your brain with this, because believe it or not, and I know you did a video on it, but I didn't know like how passionate you were of like getting rid of the tram tour and everything. Whenever you have the time, whenever you have the chance, I would love to have you on, so that way like you can actually like express and talk about it, because I think that's a show in itself, right there. So whenever you would like to come on, you're always welcome to. So Remy D says, am I allowed to post a YouTube link here? I was hoping you can watch this roller coaster vid.
Remy, if you can't post it in the chat, you can either message me or George on Instagram, and we'll pull it up. So either way.
Yeah. So you could try, try posting the link, and then I'll click on it. It might, Wizard can come on at 4. Oh, okay.
Well, hey, this is pregame right here. You guys all know that we could go 4 hours. So
Wizard, do you want me to text you the StreamYard link, or do you want me to send it like on Insta or something?
Yeah, please. I would love to have Wizard on, because again, we're kind of deep diving into this expansion for Universal, and Wizard is literally the absolute best person to ask about this because, like I said, this guy is the absolute goat when it comes to theme park permits. He
Well, and
knows.
I'm just very curious because I was like not expecting. Okay, 4:15. That's still good. I'll send it to you. Let me see. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I'll text it to you, and then let's see. Where am I?
Yeah, please, Woodard, please come on. I would love to talk to you about this because it's 100% necessary. Oh, you know what? I think. Hold on. I don't know.
So
Oh no, that was something else. Okay.
did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Remy. Maybe send the link to either Hollow Gelato or theme park conductor on Instagram. Message us and we'll pull it up for you.
Oh,
Or X.
okay, Wizard. I'll send it to you Twitter. Sorry, I just texted to you, but I'll send it through Twitter.
Let me see.
Remy, if you could send it actually to theme park conductor, because that way he can get it while I do this for Wizard.
No, absolutely. Yeah, send it to me.
Divide and conquer.
Exactly. Send it to me, Remy, on Instagram through messages, and I'll share the screen with George, and we'll watch it.
See, send it there.
But you know why we wait for that? I want to ask everybody. I don't think we've, at least as far as I know, I haven't asked how. Yeah, send it through X then. You can send it to my X account on X. Do that. How was everyone's holidays by far? How was everyone's Christmas? Post in the comments. We want to hear how your Christmas was. Hopefully it was awesome. Hopefully you got to spend time with your family. I know I got to spend time with my family, and it's my mom's all in the NFL, so we watched NFL games all day. We cooked dinner, watched NFL. That was Christmas right there.
Yeah, we got to spend time with family, more so on Abby's side. One thing I did learn by being around a big Filipino family during the holidays is when they play games, they're very competitive.
Oh boy.
So I played a few of the games, but other ones I backed out because I was afraid I was going to get hurt.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Let's see. It was great. I got $1,100, paid off my car insurance. Very adult of me. Hey, you know what, Wizard? Kudos to you, because I mean you got to do what you got to do. But man, if someone sent me $1,100, like I'd be calling Disney Cruise Line. So kudos to you.
Of course you would be doing that. Knowing you, of course you would be doing that. Hey, don't worry. I'm guilty of it too. So I'm right there, George. No, that's awesome, Wizard. That's very awesome. Well, I don't know if I could show it because I would have to get off camera for a second, but my parents, because I've been telling George on my not my bucket list, but my to-do list for the Orlando trip, I've been wanting to get a suitcase set. Well, my parents got me a suitcase set, so I'm ready to go. I'm one step closer, and
Hey, you know what? That's like the rite of passage right there. When you get that suitcase set, that means you're like like one step closer.
100%.
And it's so funny because I was talking to Tommy about it, and I love Tommy's analogies. Like when he says something, and he was like, "Oh, conductor already got his luggage." He's like, damn, I've been sleeping for a minute. Like, I got to get on that. Like, I just love his analogy.
Oh my gosh.
Mademoiselle says, let's see it.
All right. Hold on. It's heavy. It's definitely heavy. So let me move the mic away.
Yep. Take your time. Oh, cool. So,
here. It's all one. There's 5 bags in here. Believe it or not. 5 bags.
Oh, nice.
It has the TSA lock on there, so that way I could deter people from hopefully stealing my stuff. But it's 5 bags, and believe me, I'm going to have more than plenty of cargo space for everything.
Well, just so you know, you also have another protection. You're traveling with the Italiano here.
Oh, that's true.
I'd be like, hey, no one is taking anybody's stuff, not unless it's the right price.
Oh, of course, you would auction my stuff off at the airport. Of course you would do that.
Well, I guess since we're suitcase sharing, I guess I'll show you mine.
Oh God.
No, actually mine is like a 5-piece too. Now this is the jumbo size.
Jesus. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That thing's massive like mine. Oh my God.
This is like the biggest one. It comes with I think like 5 or 6 pieces.
Wow. Yeah, mine comes with about 5, and they all have as far as I know, I haven't opened the other ones, but I think they all have the TSA lock. So it's like it's a 3-digit combination, and it has like a little keyhole that's specifically that TSA security has if they need to get in your bag. So they have a special key for that.
Oh, okay. I usually have that too. It's called a bobby pin.
Okay, now I'm gonna have to watch you because now I definitely don't trust you. Oh my gosh, now I have trust issues with you. Oh my gosh. Let me see.
Yeah, he's saying, I posted it on. Wait, I posted it on the Vids post conductor.
Vids post. Which one is that? Oh, are you talking about? Are you talking about the YouTube live stream or on X? I'm trying to figure out because I want to pull this up.
No, Remy D, did you try putting the link here? Would it just not go? He did it on X.
Okay, let me go to my X stream and see if I see it. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. No, I do not see it on X. That's interesting. No, I do not see it on X, Remy.
And then you said I did. I assumed that you were answering like you tried posting it here because I didn't see it on here either.
Yeah, I don't see it either. I'm just not seeing it. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, Remy. Do you know what it was? Maybe we could try to, one of us can look it up. But I don't see it anywhere. I'm trying to find it, and I do not see it worth my life.
And what was the roller coaster?
Yeah, yeah. Let me see.
Thank you so much, 7H John, for subscribing. I definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, let me see. It was Six Flags. Hey, George, if you want to pull that up.
Yeah, because I got another page. So let me see. Six Flags, Falcons Flight, Ride POV. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Because I think Six Flags just opened out there.
Let's see, Six Flags.
It's the first ever POV of the 600-foot tall. Oh my God, you're calling my name. I might want to ride that damn thing. That'd be awesome. That'd be really cool.
Okay, so let me share the screen.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay, here we go. Well, of course, they would have an ad.
Oh, dude. Oh, my God. That looks sick. Holy Lord. There's no way.
Holy crap.
Oh my God, I still want to do this.
Fireworks on a roller.
Look at that. Dude, that's so sick. Wow. Look at that drop right there. No way. Oh, and it stopped. Oh, no way. Ooh. Oh my God. That is awesome. Insane. Oh, Mount Lozelle, it's definitely real. This even scares me a little bit. I know I know in hell you would never ride this, but I'm intrigued. I almost want to ride this thing. Looks awesome. So cool. No kidding. Saudi Arabia money? Yeah. Wow. That's so cool.
افتتاح سيكس فلاجز مدينة القدية. نرجو منكم الانضمام إلينا في السيتادل للاستمتاع بعرض خاص مع أليشا كيز. Esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, Six Flags Qiddiya City is now open. Please join us at Citadel for Alicia Keys.
I'm telling you now, all the international parks get the good shit.
Oh, they do. We get the like the short end of the scraps.
Damn, man. I would love to ride that.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, now, can you picture that? Like, so they just opened like for Six Flags there. Can you imagine Universal in Saudi Arabia, this new Disney park in Abu Dhabi? They're all forking out their own money. It's not even going to cost any of these theme parks. They're out of their own pocket. Like, no. It's haunted, but we got the safe ones.
Exactly. 100% with that.
And actually, I agree with Abby. That is true advertising right there.
Oh, yeah. You can't tell me seeing a giant Falcon drone with fireworks hovering above the park is not advertisement. That was freaking awesome.
Yeah, so like they get like this fast, tall innovative roller coaster with fireworks and drones and everything. Meanwhile, we're still waiting almost 3 years for a freaking parking structure.
And Haunted Mermaid 13 says the safe with the lawsuits. That's what we get.
Yeah.
155 miles an hour.
Wow.
Holy Lord, dude.
39.8 feet tall.
Wow. 155 miles an hour.
Very true. Yeah, Remy D says Hollywood Drift. What?
Yeah, no kidding. Holy Lord. Wow. That is so fast.
Yes, 7H John says, I could go on that. Yeah, put in the comments. Give like a thumbs up or a thumbs down, a yay or nay. Is that something that you would go on? I think, honestly, that's a thumbs up for me.
I'm going double thumbs up. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. Man. Chris West says, you kind of resemble Adam the Woo in Abby's profile picture. What, this? I wonder if you meant me.
Oh, you mean the photo of us there? Is that what you're referring to, Chris?
Okay. Let me see.
Okay, so 7H John gives a thumbs up. Haunted Mermaid gives it a thumbs up.
Ooh, okay. Oh, she's willing to go 155.
Okay, hey, you know what? I'll take that as a compliment, Chris West. Thank you so much. Honestly, the fact that like something of me that gives a resemblance that reminds you of Adam the Woo, like I'll take it.
Remy D says the great thing too is that the Saudi Arabia theme park does not see a lot of traffic, so low waits. You can run a marathon this thing. 100%. 100%. That's insane. That's literally insane. Wow. I'm actually speechless. I saw something about it on social media, but my God, 155 miles.
Yeah, I saw it too. Like, but I was just reading it. I never like watched the video, but
that's insane.
Thank you so much, Remy D, for bringing that to our attention and recommending that video. That was cool. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was freaking awesome. Let me see why we wait for Theme Park Wizard. Let me see here. Let me see.
See, Haunted Mermaid 13 says, I worked Supreme Scream, but never went on it, but I'll go on the roller coasters.
Okay.
All right. That is very true. I've known people that when it comes to like thrill rides, like you have like these really odd, bizarre, very extreme like rides where you're like in these like bucket seats and you're hanging from a cable and they got you like hundreds of feet in midair swinging you around. And people will be like, nope, I'm not touching that. But with a roller coaster, you can go on it, which I could understand it. I don't know. For some reason, I feel a little bit more safer in a roller coaster.
Sure.
To be honest, like, I don't know.
So let's see. I could see because of the bail issue, especially how some of it works. No, by far. And I was kind of thinking of the one at Knott's and the cables.
Okay.
Possible.
Now, speaking, kind of like staying on that subject matter, what do you guys think about Knott's and Six Flags kind of like joining now together with one app? They kind of share the same, like starting in 2026, like our annual pass from Knott's is going to be connected to Six Flags.
That's crazy.
So I'm very curious to see if it would benefit or if it's going to be more of a blunder.
Interesting. I don't know. That's kind of got me stumped a little bit. Hopefully for the better, though. Hopefully.
A cable snapped and some kid's leg almost got taken off. Ooh.
Yeah, I remember that 7H, John. That was at Knott's Berry Farm. That was on Accelerator. It was a kid and his dad. And the kid, the launch cable because it uses kind of like Intimate's old technology of a launch coaster with the cable, and it's slingshotting you up the top hat. And I think the last I heard of it, he had over 100 surgeries, that kid. And I think he
You know what,
continues.
now that you say that, now I'm starting to remember hearing something of that.
Yeah, because a buddy of mine that I work with at Costco, he was actually there that day. He didn't work on the attraction, but he was there that day working at Knott's. And I forgot if he was on Supreme Scream or one of the nearby attractions. And he was telling me some horror stories, and he actually had to stay at the park for an extra, what was it, almost 10 hours to be questioned by authorities and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
So it was a big deal.
Absolutely. And you got a shout out here from Park Explorer Adventure.
Absolutely. Thank you, Park Explorer Adventure, for the shout out. Definitely appreciate it. And to my wonderful, fairly new mod on Theme Park Conductor, Haunted Mermaid 13, has done an excellent job on all the lives and premieres that I've been part of. So shout out to Haunted Mermaid 13.
Absolutely.
And let's see. Haunted Mermaid 13 also says, I only heard horror stories from disgruntled former Disney cast members working Knott's. It wasn't fun. Well, it's interesting you mentioned that, Haunted Mermaid 13, because Chris West, interesting, he just made a comment. Chris West actually is the one I'm pretty sure that told me that he knows friends since Six Flags merged with Knott's Berry Farm, that a lot of team members that have been part of Knott's Scary Farm, this was going to be their last year doing it, because apparently Cedar Fair does not treat employees properly, and I don't know how true that is. But that's what Chris West or someone might have mentioned to me, that a lot of Knott's Scary Farm employees that have been there and done the event for years, this might have been their last year working the event because of that merger. So
now, as far as what Chris West was mentioning about like the drive-by shooting and everything, and that's where the issue with Knott's is, I feel like that Knott's is like not secured in that sense. Like something can happen at any time, any place, anywhere nowadays.
Sure.
But I feel like compared to Universal and Disney, they kind of have their own kind of separate land where it's their land. I feel like Knott's is like very close to the outdoor world, a little bit too close, if that makes sense.
It does.
Like when you're in the park, you hear sirens going off, you hear like police cars, you hear fire engines, and it's like, I'm not saying that you couldn't hear any of that in Disney or Universal, but you kind of feel the escapism when it comes to Disney and Universal. Like, no, I don't necessarily feel that way when going into Knott's.
No, I don't either. Haunted Mermaid 13 says, I know the bride from working Haunted Mansion with her. I should ask her if she's returning. Interesting. I want to ask you guys again, while we wait for Theme Park Wizard. He should be with us in about 5 minutes or so. Well, let's answer Chris West. George, go ahead.
It says, I remember a TikTok where teens hopped the fence in Camp Snoopy. That's interesting.
I think I remember hearing about something like that. So you never know. I don't know. Knott's is kind of scary for me. You know, just the area surrounding Knott's, it's kind of very sketchy in a way.
Oh, so, yeah, very much so. Like, even when we were walking Knott's yesterday, it's like when you're so used to going to Disney and Universal so often, it's like, and you finally go back to knots, it's like, yeah, there's like some moments where it's like, okay.
Yeah, no, 100%. Knots should bring back the big boat ride that soaks people. I think I vaguely remember that. Where was that 7H John in the park? I vaguely remember that one. Go ahead, George.
Let's see. Remy D says, in general, I consider Knott's and any Cedar Fair park a notch above Six Flags. I agree with that. One area that I hope Six Flags learns from Cedar Fair is operating their rides more efficiently.
Oh, by far. By far. We'll just have to wait and see, though. Who knows? Who really knows?
So let's see. Then just got a message from Mr. Theme Park Wizard. Little delay, but he should be here soon.
Okay.
So 7H John said that's like all of Anaheim outside of Disney's bubble. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like anything outside the Disney bubble is like you have like the real world, so to speak.
Much.
Remy D says the perilous plunge, I think.
Okay, yeah. So someone someone died off that, and 7H John confirmed it. It's where kind of that mouse little mini roller coaster that kind of everyone doesn't like. That's where that was. And I remember seeing that on the news. I think the lady's restraint came loose, and as it was going down, she literally fell out, and I don't know where she landed, but yeah, she died.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Let's see. Chris West says that night of the shooting, I was serving someone water. Then we thought there was a fight. Then people were saying shooter. Then people were running into our restaurant. Wow.
Oh, geez. That's scary. That's horrific. Like, I mean, really horrific. That's horrible. Huh. Wow.
Yeah, I don't even know like how like I would even like operate in that sense. Like in the moment. Like it's wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Haunted Mermaid 13 says, I'm so glad I never experienced death or injury on any of my old attractions. Only had guests spread ashes inside the mansion. Yeah, I've known like a lot of people to not personally, but I know a lot of people that spread ashes in the Haunted Mansion or Pirates or It's a Small World or at the time Splash Mountain, now Tiana's. That I know a lot of people even spread ashes in the bushes, in the flowers, you know. Yeah. I think Whoopi Goldberg did her mother, because her mother was a huge fan of Disneyland. So yeah, they said they went on It's a Small World, and Whoopi Goldberg kind of like made the joke, and she was like, achoo. Like,
of course she did that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's see. I've only experienced injury to my head on Forbidden Journey.
Interesting.
Okay. 7H John, like in what way? Like, was it like flinging you back and forth? Like, what part of the ride was that? I'm curious.
Yeah, and Rudio. Go ahead.
Rudio says, Knott's is becoming Six Flags in the 90s. There's a reason the chaperone policy was activated. That is very true.
100%.
Very, very true.
And then Remy D says, do you think guys, Six Flags as a chain will follow Universal and Disney on using AI to manage guest lines better? Well, we can only hope, but then again, we don't even know what's coming for Universal and Disney. They say they want to use AI for infrastructure, for better guest experience. So we can only speculate what that can entail. But we know as anyone else you would ask in this theme park space, anytime any theme park brings something new, whether it's backstage or backstage to help guest experience, or even with the new entrance gates we got a while back at Disneyland, there's always going to be like a rough patch right at the beginning. But, hopefully that happens, because I'll tell you right now, the way the theme parks are pricing things, I would love nothing more to have a hassle-free theme park day than dealing with hassles and stress and all that. If I wanted to deal with stuff like that, I couldn't just stayed home, saved money, and went to work 7 days a week if I wanted to deal with that. So,
Yeah. And Chris West says that ride was near where the surf glider and scrambler was, at closer to Johnny Rockets.
yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, it's I hope that, as I had said, that them merging will be better for the both of them, because I think Six Flags is hanging by a thread. Knott's is doing okay, but I just hope that they don't sink each other.
No, 100%. So again, we'll just have to we'll just have to wait and see. It's literally a wait and see game. So it's going to be kind of hard to tell, but I don't know. 7H John had a comment. He says it was my first time going to that park, and it kind of sucked because it was the first ride me and my brother went on. Are you meaning Knott's or Six Flags? I think he meant.
I think he's referring to. Correct me if I'm wrong, 7H John. I think he was referring to the Forbidden Journey.
Oh, interesting.
I think.
Wow.
I think.
Okay.
Let's see, and let's see whenever Montezuma opens.
See that's okay.
And he did confirm it. Yeah, it was for Universal.
Okay, got it. Thank you. That's another thing. Montezuma's Revenge has been down for so long, but yet, they were able to spend the money. Actually, Cedar Fair has the money to fast track this project, and yeah, it restarted construction on the attraction, but how many years ago did we see concept art for Montezuma's? It's needed help for quite some time, and it's still not done. So I don't know.
And then we have DGER 4040. It's been years since they've done it, but would they have any insights as to why Scary Farm stopped placing scare actors on the mine ride and log ride?
Well, okay. As far as I know, Chris, if you're still in the chat, you could probably answer this better than anybody. I think it had something to do with liability. And for a lot of the scare actors going on these attractions, because I know they also had them riding on Ghost Rider, being in all that makeup and mask and liability. So it was a liability issue because a lot of these scare actors that wear these prosthetics, these masks, costumes, I'm sure a lot of them got sick, dizzy. Maybe they had to call ambulances, 911, because they fainted or God knows what. So Chris is absolutely right. The liability probably was so astronomically high. That's why they stopped doing it.
Well, yeah, because even with how extreme a ride could be, like Ghost Rider, they can't break character.
No.
So they have to stay in that mindset.
Yeah.
Chris West says the monsters still get to ride the rides, though I have seen pictures.
For one night.
So
I wonder if that's employee preview or maybe, I don't know. I'm not too sure, but I know at one point they were able to ride with guests, especially Ghost Rider. So I don't know. But yeah, probably just the liability was ridiculous.
I would love to ride with guests and be a scare, because I literally would scare the shit out of everybody.
Knowing you, yeah, you would. Oh, I know you would. Oh my gosh. Oh man.
Uh-oh.
What?
We got somebody here.
Oh God, here we go. Yep, there he is. Troublemaker right there. I called it. Uh-oh.
We can't hear you. Mr.
Oh.
Clean Shaven, though. Look at that. He's like, oh,
Dang, man. Looking good over there. Oh, now he disappeared.
I give him a compliment and then he leaves.
Well, he sees me and he's like, no, I'm just kidding. No, but when it comes to Universal projects, that's why Wizard is trying to get on with us, because he can answer all these Universal project answers. Okay, here we go.
Ooh, how about now?
Oh yeah, now we can hear you.
We can hear you. We can't see you.
What?
No, we can see you. Don't let George lie to you. I can see you.
Oh, there we go. No, literally, I couldn't see him. There we go.
Oh boy.
Okay, hold on. So I'm gonna be looking this way because my camera's over here, but my screen's over here, and this screen's not working. So look at my cheek. Okay.
Okay. Well, we'll look at your.
I'll just look at this and then I'll look at you. There we go.
Dang. Okay.
Well, as I said, you looking Mr. Smooth. Hey, how's it going?
The button under here.
Oh, hold on. There we go.
Tech support.
But thank you. Nice and clean shaven.
I know, man.
Yeah, Mr.
Looking up
Smooth.
nice.
You must be jealous, Choo Choo.
Oh hell no. No. Oh come on.
You did.
No. No.
Mrs. Wizard.
See how
that's
see how Mrs. Wizard comes in, how that's how Abby is with me. Like anytime I'm like, I can't figure this out, like, and then she just comes in and does it, and then boom, it works. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, well that's unbelievable. All right, Wizard. You know what this is, so
there we go. Okay.
I want to ask you straight off. I saw your X posts. We're seeing new holes in the Curious George parking structure for the security zone.
That is correct. George is he knows all about holes, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Of course he is.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, gosh.
Yep, I take the gold, the silver, and the bronze.
No kidding. Yeah, you do. A lot.
But yeah, it looks like they punched a big hole, bigger than George's hole. At Curious George parking lot, as they get ready to construct the walkway from ET to Curious George for the ET parking structure security structure hub.
Interesting.
Say that
Okay.
5 times in a row.
No, I'm good. That's a tongue twister. I don't want to repeat.
And then we got Magical Hops in the house. Always good to see you. So Wizard, now that we have you on, okay, now kind of everything that we've like been talking about throughout this whole entire live, and you have been very opinionated on it, like in the chat. But I need to know, like, straight out vocally from you, because again, I know you did a video on it, but I mean, like, the fact you're like, you know, with the tram tour and everything, like, you can't stand it, you despise it. You're like,
oh, it's terrible. That's terrible.
So tell us how you really feel.
I'd rather watch paint dry.
Damn.
Look, this is so long. And it's great for people who never done it. This thing is so long and it's so boring and it takes up so much space. And even worse, there's a traffic jam. That's made it even worse. No, I can tolerate it. You know.
Really quick, Wizard. I'm not sure, conductor, if you can hear it. Your audio is kind of going a little bit in and out.
This is ridiculous. Hold on.
A little bit.
How about now?
A little bit.
Still kind of going in and out, a little bit staticky.
Okay, hold on. Wait a second. Breaking news.
Oh God.
While he's fixing it, but Remy D says, I agree with you. Keep
Talking.
Better.
So far, pretty good.
Talking. Great. Rudio disagrees.
We'll make it work.
Okay.
No,
hold on.
wait, no, it's going back out again.
Ooh, you must be crazy.
I'm not crazy. What? Why you calling me crazy? What I do?
Hold
I didn't
on.
do anything. I'm
Hold
just
on.
sitting
Hold
here.
on.
I'm innocent. I
Okay,
promise.
let me look at my thing. StreamYard's stupid. Okay, StreamYard is stupid.
Elizabeth.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, how about now?
Better.
Keep talking.
Talking.
Yes. Okay.
Before
better.
I think we're good.
I told you, stupid StreamYard. No, you pay $400 a year for this thing, but StreamYard is stupid. It switched my mic to the camera mic and didn't even tell me. Stupid ass piece of crap.
Why would you like that?
Now back to the stupid studio tour. Now this thing is so long, it's so boring, and then it's tolerable when it goes all the way through. But then when there's a traffic jam, like the past 5 times went on, there's a traffic jam, particularly by the earthquake section. One time I waited for 5 trams to go in. And you know how long we're sitting there for 5 trams to go to the earthquake section? That's too long. So then I feel like I'm just sitting on the freeway again. I mean, I don't want to come over there and be sitting on the freeway. It's terrible. I rip out all those old buildings and just put in some good stuff, for God's sakes.
Okay, that's as I said. Like I would have
Rip
never.
it out.
I would have
Rip it out.
never guessed
Rip
that.
it out. Rip it out.
He's on one.
I did. I would have never guessed that. Like I thought, like me saying that being a hot take, you would have been like, you know, George, how could you? Like, how could you say that? And then it was the complete opposite. And you're like, oh yeah, 400 acres. Like it should have been gone yesterday. Like
Rip it out. Okay, let's put it into perspective.
Okay.
The Universal Studios is 400 acres, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now look. The theme park portion is about 50 acres. Now, Disneyland Resort is like 500 acres with both parks, right? Universal's 400. You know, it's almost the same size. Imagine what they can do with all that space and still include the studio. I mean, most everything is filmed on a sound stage nowadays, right? Not usually these big sets. They've already built brand new sound stages at the very corner. They know the newest sound stages, all those 8 are on the very corner of the property, literally at the street. I think they did it on purpose. You realize they put them all the way at the very end. Why? They didn't put them right in the middle. Put them all the way at the very end. Because I do think that in the long-term future plan, they'll try to chip away at the back lot, like I'm suggesting, for more theme park space, because it's doing pretty well for Comcast. I mean, look how much they're expanding all over the world and in Orlando, right? I don't think it was a coincidence that they put the newest sound stages and they're putting all the newest buildings on this tour all the way on the edges of the back lot, because I think they're gonna not only consolidate but demolish some stuff and push some theme park into the back lot to make the theme park bigger, and that will probably become the primary money driver. I'm calling it right now.
You're not wrong, because before you came on, Wizard, me and George were talking about it, and we said, you know, and we were reading your comments as we're talking about it. If they're not going to put anything into the studio tour, new experiences, new attractions for the tour to go through, we still have the Jurassic Park section of the tour after you go past the Universal Picture Car, still closed almost 2 years now because of that tram accident. And if they're not going to pour anything into it, it's almost like a money pit, because you're paying for the trams to run, you're paying for the electricity to charge them, you're paying for the maintenance crews, the studio tour guides. Is it really worth it if they're not going to invest into it?
Okay, here, look. Now, if you share my screen, I'll show you exactly what we're looking at here. Oh, hold on.
And while you do that, and Rudio says getting rid of the studio tour would be like getting rid of the Disneyland Railroad. It's a
Mm,
staple for Hollywood and Los Angeles.
Hey, well, Disneyland World's a nice perimeter ride and take a lot of space. That can stay. But otherwise, some things just got to go. Okay? Progress is only made by demolishing things if you can't do anything else. Just like those classic sound stages. Super Nintendo World was on a classic sound stage. I don't know what, but I know some people were
It,
up in arms about that. But it's
it,
just
it
a
was
building.
it was where they shot Phantom of the Opera. That
Oh,
sounds
that's the one. Yeah. Now, see, look, think about that. Mad about a building, a warehouse going away? That's absurd to me. I mean, they've shot Phantom of the Opera, but I mean, they could have shot Finding Nemo in there. I don't know. What I'm saying, there's so many movies there, and in these brand new sound stages, there'll be a new, movie that will be as good as a classic as Phantom of the Opera. They'll shoot in there, but at the end, it's just a building, right? A lot of these things on the back lot are just buildings. Except the Metro sets. I love the Metro sets. If they can, I would love to. They probably won't do this, but I love to incorporate the Metro sets in a nice themed land. I know they're too profitable and they film stuff there, like Spider-Man, but that'd be so cool. Like have like a New York land, like I do in Florida, as just the Metro sets and build an actual ride back there. It'd be pretty cool.
Well, I know Universal Hollywood is going to have to do something kind of drastic moving forward because, I mean, back in the 80s and the 90s and, excuse me, even the early 2000s, they can get away with it, for it being like the quintessential, crown jewel of LA and what have you. But now, being in this fast-paced time now where, theme parks are literally, going up against one another, it's like they have to do something to, like really like get ahead of the curve.
Now here I have the I don't know how to do it, but I shared my screen. I don't know how to, I don't know if you can see it. You can click it.
It should be on your side, George, because
I don't see it.
Okay,
nothing popped up.
I click present, and then here's the map, but I don't know how to get you to see it.
Okay,
because I don't know how to do it as a guest.
Oh wait, wait here. Let me stop sharing my screen. Okay, there we go. That's why. Here we go.
Gotcha. Okay, so now we're here, and then that's me. Okay, so let's take you to the lay of the land, Hollow Gelato. Okay,
let's do
Gelato. Okay, so Mr. Gelato, here you go. These are the sound stations I was talking about. These are the newest ones. But see, that's what I'm talking about. See how they're literally at the edge of the property? I think that's on purpose. To be fair, these are also new, but this is also on the edge of the property by the LA River, right? So everything's being built on the edge so far. And then what we have permits for, but hasn't started yet, this area from here all the way to this house. So from here to this house, how big of an area that is.
Yeah.
There's been 2 permits to file for this whole area to be graded. This house has already been demolished. Now, there's been markings around all over the world. So this whole area, which someone measured was 10 acres, is supposed to be graded. Probably for more studio stuff. But again, if let's say they put more studio stuff here, like relocated studio buildings, this again, it's on the edge of the property. See, the houses are right here, and it creates a nice sound barrier if they do put like random studio stuff here. And they can relocate all this stuff, right? All this, well, I mean, maybe not the bungalows, but some of these other auxiliary studio buildings and just push out the theme park. I think that's the plan. And yes, I'm sure it's easier for production vehicles to get to as well. But I mean, it also creates a nice sound barrier because noise ordinance and stuff. It'd be hard to have any ride, but especially an outdoor ride, if they were ever to go over here, right by houses. But why not just put a relocated studio building, right? The new mill. So this building here, which I found out was multi-purpose, but this is the current mill area. Now this is being rebuilt right. Where'd it go? Where's that? Oh, right here. It's right here, and it's almost done. It looks like it probably could open next year. And I think there's some offices in here, but I mean, look, they're relocating this area. The studio post is here, but also in the creative building over here, and they can maybe move stuff around. But I do think, there's a lot of consolidation going on and a lot of moving around, just like you said with Disneyland 4, and but on a smaller scale. And I do think they do have some nice grand vision to keep obviously the studio stuff, and I'm sure the studio tour, but also make significantly more space for more theme park spot on both lots, which is very exciting to me. And again, for the studio tour people, that'll be there forever, I'm sure. So you get your stupid studio tour, but like exactly, this is the area right here that conductor was talking about with the accident. So here's the Fast and Furious thing, and here's the Jurassic Park. So this whole area they don't go on anymore due to the accident. So now it's another wasted piece of space. It's not much. I guess not much you can do with it, but it's just a wasted piece of space. I don't know. And
really, really quick, Wizard, before you continue on, Remy D is asking if they get rid of the studio tour, do you think we'd get a bigger backlash than the removal of Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer?
It's funny. I think you might, but it's funny. Universe is a little different because I feel like you get a little backlash, but then it's like not a lot because maybe not a lot of people care about Universal, which is also kind of sad. But then there's enough people that care about the studio tour. I feel like they'd be like, yeah, even if you put it as an upcharge thing, I feel like people are like, that'd be terrible. But I don't know how much it would be, to be honest. Because again, I feel like a lot of this park is, especially in the summertime here, a lot of tourists. I always hear, if you ever go to Universal, you always hear a lot of different languages. And see people from different, so I don't know, it's not so much of there's a lot of locals, but not like Disneyland locals where like, oh, I'm going all the time, hence the low wait times in like January and February when most of these rides are 5 minutes, So I don't know how much of a backlash would be. I'm sure there'll be some, but I don't think, just look at the one when the Waterworld story came out, when they thought, oh man, maybe Waterworld's going to be removed. There's a little bit of a backlash there. So I'm sure there'll be something, but maybe not as much of like.
Oh no, see, they
Disney
can't get rid of Waterworld. I was literally ready to throw myself in front of the.
Yeah, I know. I love that one. I hope that one never goes. I hope they do though. Add another show, maybe not replace Waterworld, but add one. Something like Bourne or some indoor show. That way, because when it's too hot or rainy, you can still go see the show. And also, we lost 2 shows for Fast and Furious, so it'd be nice to gain another show back, so we have 2 again. So hopefully, Universal does that.
Yeah, I think we need more entertainment in the parks, just in general. Like that would be awesome.
7H John, yes, I'm sorry. My apartment building is this fire alarm, not in my apartment, but in someone else's apartment, has been going off for the past hour. And I don't know why, but it's something with this apartment complex. It's one time, side note, we were in this, it was like 1 a.m. and everyone in this apartment got woken up by a fire alarm that randomly went off, and it was so annoying. So yeah, that's what that beeping is. Sorry for the beeping, but yeah, the studio tour is a people eater. So if they're even thought of getting rid of it, they would definitely have to build a lot of other stuff to eat up the thousands of people per hour that those massive super trams take up.
So let me ask you this, because I brought it up to George while you're still in the chat. Is Universal going to go the way of what Disney's doing with Avatar? With Disney, we're seeing that obviously they have no intentions of starting Avatar until at least halfway, if not 3/4 of the way done with the Eastern Gateway parking structure. Mm-hmm. Do you think Universal will not build another attraction or another land for Hollywood until at least they start the construction for the hotel?
Probably, because I know that's next. So simply because it's supposed to start so soon that I think that'll be true. But I don't think they're gonna wait to finish the hotel before they start another ride per se. I feel like they
Sure.
start another ride after Fast and Furious opens, or when it's very close to opening, almost like they started Fast and Furious. You remember the walls went up in January 2023, which is like a
Sure.
month before Super Nintendo World opened. So I feel like
Yeah.
they do the same thing there. But I feel like I don't think they'll build the hotel then wait till 2028 to start another ride type of thing. I think they'll
No.
work on both of those at once.
I think so too. And one of the things I want to ask you also, because you also been covering it lately, and you even showed me, which I found it pretty
By the
interesting.
way, sorry, I wanted to address your other question because you were
Sure.
right when you're explaining the front gate parking. Yeah, so
Sure.
this is the front gate parking. So yeah,
Yeah.
this is the hotel spot for anyone who was curious on what the conductor
Well,
was
and
talking
speaking
about.
of the hotels, 7H John was asking any ideas of what the hotel is going to be themed to.
Oh, if it's the exact rendering that I got, if they stick to that, then it'll be themed to old Hollywood, almost like the main street or like the Hollywood Boulevard. Enter the park. It'll be themed to that.
I love
That
They
would
that.
be
stick
really
to the
cool.
same design that I
That would
got.
be really cool. I would love to see like a hotel like the Tower of Terror without it being like haunted or deserted. But, like,
Yeah,
that,
it kind of looked like that basically.
yeah, that would be
and
really,
and it has like a little Spanish vibe to it. Again, if they didn't change any design.
that would be really
that-
cool. Now, being that we do have you on, and it is a privilege to have you on, and I greatly appreciate you coming on, Wizard. I have to ask because you are the permit file king. Like you're
Yes.
always the first person that like puts it up of saying, "Oh, like this is filed." And like I didn't even know that they were even doing that. But but what are some of your? Because also too, Conductor and I did a kind of like end 2025 going into 2026, like with our predictions and everything. What do you predict with anything of, especially with Universal Hollywood moving forward? What is your predictions of going through of like what some of the plans are?
Okay, well, I can for sure tell you that in 2026, you can expect to see construction here for the hotel. You can definitely expect to see construction here. Boom. And for the new tech services building, you can expect to see again, that 10-acre plot I mentioned, this thing being graded over here. And then the new mill is going to finish up. And then where's the other guy? Oh, I lost it. Oh, here's. And then you can expect to see this building from 6 Points, Texas demolished, and then this house, home and family set. That's what it is. Okay, so this big, lovely mansion.
Wait, that's an actual like live-in house?
Yeah, I think you can actually go inside. It's a set, but it's not like a facade. Like
No, I was like, I thought like, so no one is actually, no.
Yeah,
I was, because if someone was actually,
yeah, no.
if someone was actually living in there, I'd be like, oh, please get rid of it. Give them like a 90-day like
Eviction.
Yeah. What you can expect?
Oh, yeah.
You can expect this house to be demolished. Hold on. Forward. Oh, good, she got it. But yeah, you can expect this house to be demolished, and one of our outlets is beeping, like beeping, and
Lovely.
So the dude's fixing it, so don't mind him. We just on the fire.
No worries. So if they're gonna tear down.
Oh wait, one more thing.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, and I just realized I screamed, and the guy is right here. So, I'm gonna whisper. Okay, yeah, and then right here. See, this is how fast this thing is. The Google image didn't even update yet, but this is where the hillside thing is, the new space that we're all waiting for. Horror Nights.
Yeah.
So you can expect those sprung tents that they have in Orlando, the white permanent sprung tents, should start construction in January and be ready for Fan Fest nights, is what I heard. But definitely Horror Nights, but maybe Fan Fest nights.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so going back to where you were showing that house that's going to be demolished, because we've seen it from you and Mondo from Five Fires.
Yes.
Right next to that house, what are they building right there? Is that for Fan Fest or is that for a movie production? What is that?
I don't know. I've heard it's Jumanji. I've heard it's for the Fan Fest. Maybe it's for both. Like to reuse things. Maybe they're building maybe they can. I mean, because it does kind of look like Jumanji-ish, but then also kind of looks like Little Europe-ish. I mean, maybe they can use it
Yeah,
for both.
maybe.
I guess we'll see for fan because it looks kind of pretty permanent, like
Yeah,
permanent Epic for the set.
it does.
But I don't know. But I'd rate either Jumanji or Fan Fest or both of them.
Gotcha.
And Remy D is asking, what's the likelihood that a Harry Potter expansion comes to Hollywood?
I don't know. I guess in the contract, at least all these people say, they always have to keep building something. But now they're building the new ride in Epic Universe, so I guess they don't.
Now they did confirm that is going to be the broomstick ride, correct?
They did not. In fact, they didn't even confirm it's being built. But via permit, we know it's being built,
Okay.
and then
so it's just a
might be
speculation that everyone is thinking
it could be a broomstick coaster, not the VR thing, but like a broomstick indoor coaster, a dark ride.
That would be interesting.
And
you know what I would really love? Really quick,
it would be run by Lowe's, yes, the hotel.
Really quick, you know what I would absolutely love if they did the broomsticks, if they really wanted to give us a thrill? You know the scene when Harry stands on his broom to catch the fish?
Yes.
Like they should bolt our feet to the broomstick and we're standing up on it and they just shoot us off.
That would be dope.
Pretty cool.
And then
wait a second.
To
7H John's question.
Sure.
I don't know if rooftop actress, but it will have a pool. The pool will be on I'll tell you, according to the site plan, the pool won't be on the 101. Don't worry, guys. The pool will be right here. It'll be on the surface lot.
Okay.
It'll be on the ground floor, but it'll be on the and there'll be a new trail, like a walking path that
I like that.
Go from the bridge.
Wait a minute. Wait a
second. I see, George, you're infecting me. A sidewalk, a pathway will be built.
I love it.
George, you're subconsciously injecting
I love it.
Hey, you know what? This is recorded live. I have this now for the rest of my life.
Yes. I love it.
Pittsburgh is injections and fueling my brains.
I love it. Oh my gosh.
Man.
Man. Okay.
It does look like a nice. I'm sure there'll be like a pool bar and stuff too, but it's in a pretty nice wizard. Not wizard. The comment distracted me. Pretty nice pool area.
Sure.
And yes, Chris West, we should finally switch the Kung Fu film. It's been 7 years. Please.
Yes.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Maybe Shrek. Bring back Shrek for the new movie.
Do you think they'd do Shrek like once Shrek 5 comes out in
I hope so. Because come on, Shrek 40 was awesome. Like, bring back Shrek.
7H John says, or an adventure in Ron's flying car.
That's cool. Although that sounds like a screen ride, so I'd be a little nervous.
Yeah. That's the only thing I'm trying to. Hopefully, Universal's trying to get away from, and Fast and Furious is the step in that right direction. I want to ask you, Wizard, because alongside, maybe a Harry Potter expansion, we don't know. Maybe based off the new Donkey Kong movie, maybe a Donkey Kong expansion, or maybe even a Dark Universe West. And George was mentioning something about The Simpsons, maybe putting a Dark Universe, or you said something else in the comments. I want Dark Universe to come to Hollywood, a West Coast version. Obviously, I want different attractions based off different Universal monsters. I just don't think the Simpsons area is the most appropriate place. I think we can really take advantage if we're getting rid of all these sound stages on the lower lot and make our version twice as big as Epic's and make it more unique, since the Universal monsters were born on the Hollywood backlot, and it only makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. I always said if Dark Universe were to come here, I'd want it like right here, a nice open spot. Because it seems so small. Like I'd want like a nice proper dark more over here. And it's the land's not too big over in Epic, so I always said, even if they brought the same layout, they should replace Curse of the Werewolf with the original werewolf werewolf show that they were gonna do before that got swapped out. Because then it would make ours more unique, and like I said, give us another show. So we have two shows, one on the upper lot, one on the upper lower lot. So
Definitely.
that'd be my dream Darkmoor if it were to come over here.
That'd be awesome. That would be so awesome.
I know, right? And then it'll give a reason for people in Florida to come over here because they don't have the werewolf show.
No.
Yeah, so it would be like, and then maybe instead of like the steakhouse, be like a different type of restaurant, a unique, highly themed restaurant. So you might get like same layout, but like different things, different tenants inside the place. So it's like uniquely Hollywood.
Well, you know what? Now you got my mind thinking. Instead of it being kind of like a Dracula themed restaurant, what if we got a Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein restaurant? And it's
you know why? Because we have such a good meet and greet already. That'd be great. And then they can do like you can eat with the characters, eat with Frankenstein.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I'm very curious to see like how they represent them during FanFest, because they're gonna utilize the classic monsters like intermixed with Scooby-Doo and everything. But I'm very curious to see, because it definitely seems like they're using FanFest kind of like as an event, but as a beta tester to kind of like really see like how people take to this. And I'm very curious to see how this goes with FanFest.
Now to 7H John's question. This is hilarious because I had the same idea. He said a drop tower ride would be cool. I always thought, boy, you should make a drop tower ride from the upper lot to the lower lot so I can skip these escalators.
That would be awesome. Oh my gosh.
Now, what do you guys think of something else I hate, and that's 3D on rides?
I don't like it. I don't like it, and I'll tell you right now, I watched someone's video or clip on, forgot if it was YouTube or Instagram, and they were talking about how Ratatouille and Walt Disney World just opened back up. They got rid of their 3D.
I'm very curious to see how it differs, because I have seen it with the 3D, so I'm very curious.
Yeah, so they stated that the picture was a lot more clear. It was a lot more brighter, and obviously the number one factor is they didn't have to wear those glasses anymore. So it's getting a lot of positive feedback. So I think sorry to say it, 3D is going the way of the dodo for the theme park, and it needs to go away.
Take it out.
I honestly hope that they eventually do it for Flight of Passage, because I think honestly it would benefit it, and they can like update the screen to be more like HD efficient, so to speak. Because there is one scene in Flight of Passage that it always seems like it never focuses right with the 3D, and that's the bioluminescent scene.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of when 7H John mentioned the drop tower, what would you theme that to?
Oh, the drop tower? Well, if I could just theme it from the upper lot to the lower lot, I'd make it an original IP, or an original something like, Universal original thing, because it would just be going from upper lot to the lower lot. So I'd be like, Universal Creative, make up something. Just get me down there faster.
Rodio's asking, do we think Fast and Furious will open by FanFest?
Yeah, it should. As long as that the rotation testing goes super well, yeah, it should open up by FanFest. Because look about it. All we need, can't see the coaster here, but pretend it's here. All we need is to get the glass over this scream shield and this scream shield. Sound wall is done. The glass is the next major part. Then I'm sure just some small things. And other than that, once the glass is done, they'll just see continuous testing over and over. So they'll probably save that for like late January through like March, and then hopefully get it open by April.
Yeah.
And Chris West says, did they save those old Universal Monster Cafe figures? I could speak.
Oh, I think so. In Orlando,
like laying on the dirt, like in Epic, or they're laying on the dirt where they look like they're all shriveling up. That you see.
Yeah, that was hilarious. But yeah, I think they're over there. They'll probably pop up somewhere. I'm surprised they didn't stick them in Darkmoor.
That's what I
Easter
thought.
eggs,
That's what I thought. Well,
Well,
let me ask you this, Wizard. After the coaster, once they start construction on the hotel, out of all the choices, out of all the areas they could start building for expansion, what do you think is going to be first?
I don't know, honestly, but I will say only what I can see with my own eyeballs. And with my
Sure.
own eyeballs, all I know is that multiple times, including today, I just see markers around this area. So I don't know if that means anything. But here's the Simpsons, and here's the construction markers, and just this planter. That's all I can see with my own eyeballs.
I think it does mean some, because you've pointed out on your channel multiple times that you're starting to see, and we're all starting to see it at one point or another, that there's hairline cracks happening even more now on the side of the building from that vantage point of the studio tour bridge going down to that area. You can see it.
hmm
So only makes
And
sense.
just got an update here from Mr. High. He said buildings in 6 points are starting to get gutted, so I expect those to come down next month.
Interesting. Now, that's one thing I wanted to ask you about. The reason why they're getting rid of those buildings, is it for more production building space, or are they going to reroute the tram, or what's the purpose of that?
I think they're gonna build a new studio building, but it'll be like something to relocate something else, like what the new mill's doing. So I feel like it'll be like something like that.
Okay.
Put more of the studio towards the center in the back to relocate other stuff from older buildings, maybe something from over here or this one or
Sure.
something around here for like future theme park things.
Now the sound stages on that very far right corner near Warner Bros., that hill right there, do you think they're going to level it out more and build 4 more massive soundstage buildings?
I don't think so. At least now, I know the next sound stages were actually supposed to go on this park lake.
Yeah.
And I thought they were supposed to start construction this year, but they haven't. So maybe they changed their mind, or maybe they're still coming. But if they were to build some more, I think they would still put them on this lake right here.
Okay.
Which maybe because here's 6 points, so maybe this part is having to do with this part. Who knows?
Yeah.
And to answer 7H John's question, yes, Universal does send out surveys, especially to me. But what I think is interesting, like I think Universal's like very more blunt than Disney. They'll like say, "Do you have a Disney Magic Key? How often?"
Oh, I know. They literally say, "Have you heard of Disneyland? When is the last time you went to Disneyland? 2 weeks ago? 6 months ago?" Like, well, okay.
Oh my god. Crazy.
They're not even trying to hide what's
No.
going on here. Okay.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Wow, that's interesting. Huh.
No. So Chris West, they installed the white structures is like the skeleton. But then there's gaps right now, but then they're gonna fill the little gaps in with the glass. So it's like they did half of it now, doing the other half.
Yeah, no, by far.
And then Remy, a Skyliner ride. That would be interesting. I don't know if they have enough. How that would work though, with a lot of with the space. Like if the park was like if the park took up most of this 400 acres, and I feel like a Skyliner could work go one side to the other side, but I
Yeah.
don't know how it could work. I feel like it'd be too small to go like from just the upper lot to the lower lot.
I think
That
so.
sounds very comfortable.
It does sound very uncomfortable. Huh.
Magical Hops likes Disney. That's all right.
Oh, he does.
I like Disney too.
Oh, he does. I know that for a fact.
Magical Hops is gonna shell out $2,000 for the Inspired Key, and then he's gonna pay $314 to go on a blockout day. Just kidding,
There you go.
Magical Hops. I love you, buddy.
But Wizard, as you were mentioning in the chat earlier, like, but now that you're actually on here, where you could actually talk about, what say you, just like with everything of how crazy the parks are, like from Disney, Universal, Knott's, whether it's blockout days for Magic Keys or Universal, and just overcrowds at knots. Like, what say you? Like, do you feel like that the holiday season became the new summer? That, like, regardless of anything, like the theme parks know that it's going to be bank during like the end of August for Halloween to like the end of December into the beginning of January for New Year's.
Yeah, I think so because summer obviously is the big thing, and I never understood it. It was always too hot for me. I mean, I'd go, but I'm like, oh, it's 100 degrees out here. But the holiday season, it's so beautiful. It's my favorite time of year. It's colder, and there's so many decorations, so much entertainment. Yeah, there's no surprise why this is the biggest time of the year. I thought it should have always been the biggest time of the year, but summer, yeah, it's too hot, and there's usually not too much going on unless you have a new ride. And I think everyone just realizes after the pandemic, they're like, wait a second, we've been stupid all these years, so let's be smart and go in the winter time.
And that's what people are probably thinking, like, oh, if we sneak and go to the holidays, everyone's still going to go to the summer. No one's going to do it, but everyone had the same idea, and they literally shifted.
Exactly. But yeah, there's just so much more for the same ticket price. Usually holidays and summer are at the same ticket price, but really there's more value in this ticket price in the holidays because of the extra holiday entertainment, like at all the parks. Yeah.
This is a very interesting comment. I actually like it from Magical Hops. Disney has gone downhill, but hasn't.
That is nice. Like that's a very philosophical, so philosophical. I don't even know what it means. That's like wow. It's kind of blowing my mind.
Yeah, it's almost like Disney got rid of like a lot of like their little extra like benefits and everything. It's still there. People still go. And as I said, I'm guilty of it. I give. We always say vote with our wallets, but at the same time, I don't even give Disney my money in my wallet. I just hand them the whole wallet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. And I do know I've seen people online do exactly what I described. They have an Inspire key and somehow are ending up in the park when it's blocked out. Whether they buy a ticket or not, I don't know. But Disney, that's why. The more you do that, people, the more blockout dates your Inspire key is going to have every year. I'm telling you.
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
and like that Magical Hop says, it's all about the money. Makes sense.
That literally, honestly, just reminded me, like the scene from Pitch Perfect. It's all about the money, money, money.
Of course you would dance like that and know that magical number. Oh, my God. Oh, man. No, but it makes sense to me. Well, let me ask you this, Wizard. Out of all three security hubs, obviously the third one hasn't even started yet.
Mm-hmm.
How likely are we going to be?
For the people, these are 1, 2, and 3.
Yes. Okay. How likely are we going to be able to see maybe the one in the Woody Woodpecker parking lot open? Because obviously that one's so long.
These two should open up at the same time with the roller coaster. This one is connected and themed to the hotel. In fact, on themeparks.com, there's a leaked rendering of what this one's going to look like. And then you have an idea of what the hotel is going to look like. In fact, I can bring it up for you if you want.
Yeah, that'd be great.
This one's public.
Okay, so let me ask you this while you're pulling that up, Wizard. If both 2 out of the 3 are going to open the same time, is it possible in the next probably maybe a month before that happens, we're going to see walls go up and City Walk to kind of close it in? Or when do you think we're going to see that?
That I don't know. Probably maybe like March. I still don't know how that particular part's gonna work. It's so interesting to me because I really don't know how that one's gonna work. But I'll have to see. I'm not sure about that one actually. How the whole enclosing. Now, okay, so this is the leaked running for the third security hub, the West Hub. So you can see, and there's the back side of the hotel there. This is the hotel itself will be 11 stories via the permit. So, but it tapers down. So this is like the lower part, and you see it's I personally got a higher quality rendering. But the one that's shown here, it's not as high quality, but it's you kind of get some of that old Hollywood drip. Think of this like that's those Spanish homes that you guys live in California. You see a lot of those Spanish types homes. That's what this roof material is like. This is the third security hub, which has that same matching vibe,
I
and
like it.
that's why it hasn't started yet because it's kind of all one project. The third security hub in the hotel. And you can see they're gonna kind of. This is where that universal neon fountain is. You see that that's not there anymore, and they're gonna build a ADA ramp there where the neon fountain is, and you exit.
Smart. Okay. No, that's smart, and it looks awesome. Yeah, Remy D says it looks like a high school. I love that.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It actually does though, because honestly, if you look at it looks like there's benches there where those bars are, and it reminds me of
it really sells with the flagpole. It actually,
it reminds me of the scene from Grease when they did that. Tell me more, tell me more.
Yeah,
You see too many musicals.
Dude, I've seen too many movies. I could pick something out for a movie in any
Good
place.
Lord. Wow. Ah,
But yeah, so that's why this one hasn't started yet because they're kind of one thing. This one should start in January. We'll see, but the other two should certainly open.
So if that really is a school, I guess that pays tribute to our good friend. I guess that really would be Universal High.
That's
yeah,
right.
there you go. I love it. Perfect. I love it. Oh my gosh.
Funny. And then there's some other stuff. There's Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Themeparks.com is a good site, guys. It's a good site.
No, it is. I've been on there a couple times.
The security entrances. Okay, the security entrances are to enclose the bubble. It's like Disneyland. You'll go through the security at the parking garage, and then you'll just be done with it. Then you just go into the park. You don't have to go like that line to Margaritaville you saw won't be there because that was all to go to the security hub today. But
That was
that will be
ridiculous.
the parking lot. So and they'll be spread across 3 sites, not just one. So the line shouldn't ever get that long, which is good. So for the city walk. Or first city walk, and then you go through city walk, and then to the whole park, and the hotel will have its own little security. Like in Orlando, if you've been to Orlando, it'll be like the same thing.
Gotcha. Yeah, see, I'm very curious, like I said, if they're gonna start enclosing City Walk at least a couple weeks before they open those security hubs, at least 2 of them, because it would make sense if they did that. That's what I think is going to happen.
Because they'd have to put up the wall. So yeah, I think they would. There's all these little gaps, so I feel like they wouldn't start that maybe like in March. I guess I heard that. I heard they're opening in April.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. But
Yeah.
That's too far. I think it'll open before. Who knows? But I think they'll have to enclose some of those things, and maybe those bathrooms can finally open. Because I've been waiting for those bathrooms across from Raising Cane's to open because they're so convenient, but they're just sitting there. I think they're just waiting for the security thing to open. Stupid.
I love seeing Wizard getting riled up. It's funny.
Old man shakes fist.
Hey, there you go. I love that. Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting in the next couple years, because Wizard, you had mentioned in the comments too that not even just with like the 2028 Olympics, but next year is also the
the World Cup.
Yeah.
So we got all this,
and then don't forget, in a couple of years we have a Super Bowl again.
Yeah. 100%.
And George is gonna be there shirtless with his team on his chest.
Hey, don't tempt me. I probably would just my whole body.
Shirtless, clean shaved, and war paint on his face.
See, that would be the only problem. Is I would have to shave the hair.
Oh yeah. Come on,
Like-
why don't you take it off now? Let's see what you got.
Oh, trust me, here's the thing. I have shaved all this before. I don't like it's not pretty.
First of all, how long does that take? I'm very
Oh
curious
God, here we go.
to like
how long
shave
does it
everything.
how long does it take to shave?
Yeah, chest and face, or even just the face, because you
Okay,
have a lot of hair.
The face, it takes about, I'd say, 20 minutes.
Oh, okay, that's not as
But
great.
it-
You use
it
an electric
grows-
shaver.
Electric shaver.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
But it grows back in 2 minutes.
I
It
know,
does.
makes it all not even worth it, huh? How about
Now-
the chest?
Now body,
Uh-huh.
that could take a good like hour and a half.
All right, Abby, get ready.
Oh boy.
That's your job.
Oh God. Remy D says, "Can Wizard confirm if each of the cars on Hollywood different be themed to different makes and models?"
Oh yeah, they'll be each from the character. They'll be with Paul Walker's character, Dom Toretto's character, Ludacris's character,
And Hans, right?
and Hans. Yeah, Hans. I'm kind of just guessing on the other two. I've seen all the Fast and Furious movies and still can't tell you what kind of car Ludacris had or any of those other guys besides Paul Walker and Dom Toretto had. But
That is very true.
they'll all be different cars.
We'll just
The characters I'm
just
probably
call it
messed
the
up on,
ludicrous
but,
car.
you know, yeah, the Ludacris car.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you know.
That ride is going to be insane because I remember going over to the model of it, and literally it's just one wraparound, like the torso.
Mhm.
Like, oh man, the air time on that thing is going to be.
Oh, it's gonna be nuts.
Oh,
It's gonna be
man.
awesome.
Yeah, we
though.
may see George flying over the studio tour because he got ejected out of the seat.
Oh geez.
And just pull a like have a safety pack, and I'm just like airborne like parachute.
Oh my gosh.
You'd be like whatchamacallit? Vin Diesel on the Fast and Furious Supercharged hanging from the helicopter. Yeah.
I love
At least my hands though will be this proportion.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my gosh. Oh man.
So what are your thoughts on for both of you? Like what are your thoughts on like the Intamin coasters going down into Orlando? Like what say you as far as the theme goes and everything?
I'm gonna
Love
love
it. I think it's gonna be called Fast and Furious New Orlando Drift, or Fast and Furious New York Drift, or Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift. And I'm not even kidding about the last one, but I do think we do the whole spinning thing, but it looks like there might be a little spike there. That's pretty cool. Should be
So you
fast.
say that it's going to be Fast and Furious.
Yes.
Okay.
And all three of those names I just mentioned are three of the names I heard it could be. So we'll see what it is.
Okay.
Wow.
Which would
So
be
you-
really funny. I'd be very upset. In fact, I would go over to Orlando President Karen Irwin herself, and I'd be like, I don't like you if they named it Hollywood Drift, because you stole our coaster, not even steal our name too.
Yeah, no.
I just love how you sathis was you literally right now. You were like, I go over to the Orlando President Karen.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a pause between that.
Yeah, there was a pun like, Karen.
Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. Well,
Oh, my God.
personally, I think it could be Fast and Furious. I hope it's not, because I think we need to stop with the cloning aspect of this. But personally, I rather see either Ghostbusters, or I rather see maybe Jaws, because they got rid of their Jaws attraction to put Harry Potter in. Was it Harry Potter or Diagon Alley, Wizard?
It was
they're
Diagon
both the same
Okay,
thing. Yeah.
Diagon Alley. So imagine a Jaws roller coaster, and at some point of the track, you go over a body of water, and all of a sudden, the sound of it are the sound effects, plays that Jaws music, and all you see is sharks coming after you, and you have to speed
Or
through.
even
That-
better, you go under the water, and you have to go under the water for at least 5 minutes, and it's a challenge. Can everyone hold their breath underwater for that long?
Actually, I was just going to say, I would actually say literally have the people go underwater and they have to hold their breath until actually the theme of the song is over. So you have
I
to
love
hold it,
that.
dun, 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 dun,
Right.
and then boom, it shoots you up.
And
I
you can
love
sign
that.
a waiver and be like, okay,
Yep.
you
I love it.
agreed to this, so no more lawsuits. Okay, no more lawsuits if something happens. You
I would
agreed
love to,
to the
like,
penalty
obviously it's
die.
going to be a roller coaster, but like, even if they were to get rid of the Fast and Furious Supercharged over in Orlando, I would love to see like a Beetlejuice themed, like Mystic Manor kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, George just wants to go all day and say the juice is loose on the ride the whole time.
Juice is loose. Oh my gosh, that would be awesome though.
Now, I wanted to ask you about like the Intamin coaster because someone was saying that it was just for like updates or something. Obviously, I don't know if they actually confirmed it, but is there a possibility another Intamin coaster could be going in the Lost Continent?
No, that one was for the Universal Florida and Universal, and Islands Adventure plots, but the new coaster goes over both plots, so it's for more construction of the current roller coaster.
Wow,
Gotcha.
that's crazy.
And with that, I must go eat dinner, but I'll be back on the stream and the chat.
Sounds good. Thank you, Mr. Theme Park Wizard. And for everyone, please like, subscribe, go over to his channel, show him some love. And before you go, Wizard, if you want to give everyone a know of where they can find you on social media.
You can find me on Theme Park Wizard on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter again, Facebook, Instagram again, and Twitter again. And then you can find me on Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, and make sure to subscribe or else you won't be able to see any of my stuff. Isn't that crazy how that works? You press the button and then videos pop up. It's an amazing concept, and you know what? I invented it.
You invented it.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's great.
Trips with 3 people. You can book your trips with me. You can book your trips with Georgie up there, but make sure to book your trips with somebody, because if you don't, I mean, are you really going on the best trip without booking it with a travel agent? Come on, man. Just do it already. Book with Georgie. Book with me. Just beware. If you book with George, all your receipts will say sponsored by Hollow Gelato. So if you don't want that on your receipt, book with me.
And then if you book with Mr. Theme Park Wizard, it'll say on the seat, yes, I definitely ripped you off.
That's correct.
Oh my God! Here comes the trash talk.
That's
Here it comes.
correct.
Here it comes.
Okay, so
But I know, in all seriousness, though, folks, definitely for any additional like travel needs, if you guys are going to Walt Disney World, Universal Orlando, or if you're coming out here to Disneyland, Universal Hollywood, wherever your homestay is, definitely go over to Mr. Theme Park Wizard for all your traveling needs. He will definitely hook you up.
heck yeah. Peace out, motherfuckers.
Dang. Wow. See ya.
Well, he definitely knows how to make an entrance and an exit.
No kidding. And he didn't even have to use a wand for that. Pretty
No.
impressive.
Yep, definitely.
Oh my gosh. No, but what Wizard was saying with everything going on at Universal, you know, it's almost even with Disneyland, George, even with that, it's to the point now. It's like with what we just saw in the last 72 hours.
Sorry, I just had to kill a fly. I used the Snickers bar.
Well, you're hurting my feelings now. I love Snickers bars. You probably destroyed it.
Well, it's still sealed.
Oh, that's even worse. Oh my God.
So sorry,
no.
as you were saying.
No, yeah, you're so sorry. No, with us watching what has happened in the last 72 hours with Universal, with Disney, with Knott's Berry Farm. But in this case, I'm talking more of Universal and Disney because they have room to expand. Does this give does this kind of give a kick in the butt to people at Disney, people at Universal? Hey, you know what? We really need to step up our construction timelines for projects because it's to the point now where we're seeing these massive crowds. They want more, and we need to provide more, and we need to stop, being so slow with projects. And it drives me nuts because I'm always going to refer to Disney on this because I've talked to so many people, including you, George, and others, that said Disney's way of doing things when they want to build new attractions, new lands, new infrastructure, they sprawl it out through quarterly earnings to save money. But then on the other hand, you have Comcast and Universal. They're building at a decent, if not rapid pace. But on the other hand, the problem with Universal out here compared to their counterpart in Orlando is we're fighting neighbors. We're fighting the studio that's literally on the lower lot. We're trying to fight with permits with the city of Los Angeles and the county of Los Angeles, because I don't care what it is out here in California to file permits and to do massive construction. It's like an act of Congress. It really honestly is. So by seeing these crowds, which is basically the topic of this whole live stream and our thumbnails for the live stream, do you honestly believe that the California parks need to step it up?
Absolutely. And I'm glad you brought that up. I think I do agree with you, like as far as like with Disney and how they go about with like making announcements, making promises, the progress of how long it takes. I do agree with you on that. But I also think it's something even a little bit more when you compare Orlando to, or just Florida. I'll just say the state of Florida with the state of California.
Sure.
Is when you look at Walt Disney World and you look at Universal Orlando, we were just talking about, they started building the new coaster while Rip Ride Rocket was still up.
Yeah.
They were literally building its replacement while it was still up. They were doing it from the back stage area and then moving forward. That is like unheard of. I've never seen anybody do that. That's being done in Universal Orlando. Same thing with Walt Disney World. We're seeing Tropical Americas, Monsters, Inkland, the Cars, Piston Peak area, Villains. Everything is getting cleared out. Like so much progress and projects are going off at the same time. Pretty soon, Rock and Roller Coaster is going to go down to become Muppets. Dinosaur is about to go to be transformed into Indiana Jones. They already went vertical with the Encanto house. But then you come over here to Disneyland, and we yet still don't even know what's going on with Avatar and Coco. Is that a coincidence? No, because it's here in California. And when it comes for Universal Hollywood, even though that they still work intangible with Orlando, we still don't even know what's going on there. So I think it's not even just a Disney thing or even a Universal thing. I think it's a state thing.
It is. And it's kind of sad. And Haunted Mermaid 13 says, for me as a cast member and a fan of Disney, since I stepped foot into the park at age 5, I'm kind of mad that everyone is building things quicker while we're waiting for a destination or entertainment on empty spaces. See, that's what I mean. It's just and we talked about this. I forgot if I was on your channel or you were on mine, and we talked about this. We said, you know, as Disney, I don't know how it is in Orlando, but out here in Disneyland, if they keep building more attractions, more lands, which I'm not saying they shouldn't, but the more they build, are we going to see things like Tomorrowland, like empty show areas like the Fantasyland Theater and the Hyperion, and then we're seeing areas of the park that kind of get neglected because now they're building even more stuff and they can't even handle what they got.
Well, and that's why, honestly, with this upcoming D23, that's why I don't think we're getting any big major announcements like we did last year. They can't. they'd be stacking them too much. We still have yet to hear any information on the projects they already announced, and they're going to announce more. They can't. As far as with the entertainment purpose and what have you, you had mentioned the Fantasyland Theater. Bluey is going into the Fantasyland Theater. Now that's going to be a huge hit with the young kids,
Sure.
you know, but is that going to be permanent? No, that's not going to be permanent. So they're using that whole entire space of a theater for, just as Haunted Mermaid mentioned it, just seasonal stuff, for event stuff, for temporary stuff.
See, that's what kind of drives me nuts. You know, and I told you this the last time me, you, and Tommy hung out at the park, and we always have a great time, all three of us. It's a bunch of fun. But we were standing in that area because they had walls up, and I mentioned to you, I said, why couldn't we get a Beauty and the Beast attraction right here, or something Fantasyland related, and get rid of the theater and build an actual attraction and use that space?
I will say I do agree with you. Like, there needs to be something there. I really wanted it to be Beauty and the Beast. However, I remember looking at the Google Earth maps back to back.
I'm sure
The size of Beauty and the Beast that's in Tokyo would never fit that space, unfortunately.
unfortunately.
But I do agree with you that something needs to be there. If they clear out that whole area, level it out, do something with it. Like, even if it's not an exact replica, because I don't think they could do a replica of Beauty and the Beast in Tokyo anyway, but give us something of Beauty and the Beast. Red Rose Tavern's right there.
Yeah.
It's literally adjacent to it. Or give us Tangled, or give us, I don't know, give us because it's perched on a hill. Give us like a rendition of the maybe, again, maybe not the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, but do like a coaster like that, but just retheme it to something different.
Exactly my point. And then I want to ask you, I don't know if you could pull up Google Maps or whatnot, but I'm curious on where the Fantasyland Theater sits. In that technically that land right there, and then behind that is backstage for Galaxy's Edge. It would be better to look at the map.
Yeah,
if
I'm going
you
to
could
see
pull it
if
up.
I can. Let me see.
Because there's two ways I'm going to go about this, or actually three ways. They could build something Beauty and the Beast related, maybe a dark ride, maybe a coaster, who knows. They could either do that, they can either expand Toontown, or they can expand Galaxy's Edge and give us that third attraction.
Let's see.
Either one of those three options would not be such a horrible idea. Because to have the Fantasyland Theater sit there pretty much empty most of the time and only used for just, seasonal events, tells me right then and there they don't know what to do with it. It's the same thing with the Hyperion Theater. It's like, why in the hell do you want to keep this building, this lovely, amazing, beautifully aesthetic theater from the inside, if you're not going to allow it to be available for guests? Why? And you can see it right there. Any three of those options I just mentioned, expansion to Toontown, Beauty and the Beast, or another ride for Galaxy's Edge, any three of those would work.
Yeah, because you can see this is the backstage area right here for Galaxy's Edge, which they could even reroute. And I guess, because I believe Oga's Cantina is right here. So I think this is where the restaurant was supposed to go. Which essentially, I think that they said that they were considering on making I'm going to say it, folks, walking path between Toontown and Galaxy's Edge. Or if they didn't want to go that route, as you said, you have the Fantasyland Theater right here and all that land surrounding it. If they just reroute the train, because it can be done, Walt Disney World's done it. It would take some time, but it can be done. And they could extend more out for Fantasyland if they wanted to go diagonal, and it would be just adjacent to Toontown. Or I'm going to give up a third. This one I think is least. But honestly, if they really wanted to expand out Toontown to the west, they could. Give us a Disney afternoon area.
See, that might be possible, because you can almost do you can almost have two things out of this if you did that. If you expanded Toontown into those two elongated buildings, and then where the where that Star Wars restaurant, and you can kind of see the infrastructure right here for it. If they kind of built like a tunnel here or something, and this whole area became Star Wars for a third attraction, they could easily do that. So we could have the best of both worlds here: expansion to Mickey's Toontown and a third attraction for Galaxy's Edge.
And then get rid of this and expand out Fantasyland. Add something new. So technically, we could have 3 of 3.
Well, where would you put the third Star Wars attraction though? Because if you take this area where these two elongated buildings are, what's that back
What's
there?
this? I was just going to ask you, what's this?
I think that's costume. Haunted Mermaid 13. If you can comment on that, I think this is costume right here. I think
so, because I thought someone told me that costuming was like behind Toontown.
Yeah, I think that is caught. So in all reality, I would be okay with Toontown taking these two buildings right here in this footprint, and then where the Fantasyland Theater is, get rid of that and build the third Star Wars attraction right there. Another e-ticket attraction. So we can have 2 out of the 3. Expansion to Toontown and a third Galaxy's Edge attraction. That would only be unique to Disneyland, not both coasts.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, it needs to be original. Now, I wanted to come over here too, because I thought while we have Google Earth up, I still have a little bit more time just to kind of run through some things.
Sure.
So right off of like Bayou Country, in New Orleans, this is the Lilo and Stitch parking lots, which is essentially supposedly proposed for Disneyland Forward for more theme park expansion into Disneyland. So I'm very curious, and this is what Bricky was talking about, where it would fit like a glove if they did Arendelle or something like that. So I'm very curious to see like what this would become. Because I mean, even though it doesn't look big, I mean, when you're actually in there and you're walking, I mean, that's a nice chunk of land.
Oh, it's huge. It's definitely huge. I've walked that long, AKA walking path from the security exit next to the former ESPN zone, and where this white, long walking path is to get back to Mickey and Friends and Pixar Pals.
Do you think they would even, like, if this does become extra expansion for Disneyland, could they add an extra entranceway and security for people to enter in through this side of the park?
Possible.
I know it'd be kind of daunting. I don't know, they probably wouldn't, but I mean, I wonder if it would be possible.
I don't know. That's kind of a tough call for me. It really is. So I don't know if they would or not.
I think that would, now that I'm thinking about it, I think that would cause a little bit too much congestion.
Yeah.
Coming off of Mickey and Friends, where you got people going on the tram and you got people going this way, it might be a little bit more hectic.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's possible, but to enter one land through security and not a whole park, I don't know if it would make sense. So I think they would just close it off, and they would build a sky bridge from the back of Pooh Country into this area. That's where I think it's going to happen. They're going to build another sky bridge over.
Now, this possibly could be. Now, I may eat my words here, and people don't get excited but they really didn't make any significant announcements at last year's D23 that dealt with Disneyland, other than the 70th anniversary, like with the Walt animatronic. So if they really wanted to say something big, even though that they're doing DCA projects, they may announce a big expansion for Disneyland, just because nothing was ever mentioned for Disneyland.
Very true. And you're not wrong about that. But now we're like you said, now we're stacking projects on
Mhm.
projects that haven't even started.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I would not be opposed to that idea. But what I would really honestly like to see first and foremost is maybe they don't talk about that space until the 2028 D23.
That's what I think. I think 2028, once things start opening, that's going to be the bigger one.
And this year, they could still make D23 a banger, and I mean a banger for real, if they finally stop being scared and they announce a Tomorrowland remodel. If they did that, that would save them, I think, personally, because people have craved it for so long. If they announced what they want to do with Tomorrowland, they announce what they're going to bring to Tomorrowland. We see concept art of what Tomorrowland could look like. I think people would get super excited, and I think what would benefit the Walt Disney Company for sure, because all the construction seems to be happening on the DCA side, would be to close off Tomorrowland completely and throw walls up. If they did that, yes, we would be losing Buzz Lightyear. We would be losing a handful of gift shops and a restaurant or two. And I don't know how this would work. I think personally they could have Space Mountain still open, but they would reroute it where they would direct people backstage to enter that ride. You just couldn't go through Tomorrowland because it would be closed off. But if they announce Tomorrowland remodel for this D23 and they throw walls up soon after that event, I'm telling you right now, that would save them for another couple years.
It's possible. See, I always thought that they would go the other route. I thought that they would make an announcement on the Lilo and Stitch parking lots first.
I'm sure.
Once they do that, it opens up a whole nother land, so that way they can close down Tomorrowland.
Sure.
Because they're going to want something to substitute in the meantime if you're going to shut down the whole land as a whole, which they would have to if they're going to revamp it, because as you said, the People Mover is intertwined with all those buildings.
Oh, 100%.
And then I just want to mention too, Haunted Mermaid 13 said, I love how DCA will be celebrating 25 years with construction. That is very true, and it's very sad. But I mean, hopefully the construction walls they put up will be silver. You know, they could at least maybe do some theme to it.
Yeah, no kidding. Wow. And then,
yeah, and I do know that, DCA needs work done, obviously, and there's no way around it. But it's like, I hope that they show a little bit of love to DCA for the 25th anniversary with something.
100%. And then Haunted Mermaid also says it's hard to walk backstage Tomorrowland. It's all vehicles going back and forth. It's not a big area. See, that's another problem. So I could see that as well. Magical Hop says a cool roller coaster ride that takes you through different planets would be dope. And then 7H John says they could hire a fleet of golf carts that shuttle employees back and forth nonstop. They could do that. That's kind of a catch-22. And then 7H John says that new Pixar parking lot never needed to be built. All of it could have gone on the east side of the freeway.
Do you think eventually, because obviously they're probably going to add another hotel,
I'm sure,
when they do like the third gate, because we all know the third gate's going to happen one way or the other.
Yeah.
We all know where it's going, and I'm sorry, Disney, whether you want to admit to it or not, it's going into the Toy Story parking lot. I'm sorry, it is.
Yeah.
75 acres. I mean, come on. But to 7H John's statement, if you look, this is already massive, the Simba parking lot. I mean, there's like so much that they can do with it already. But right here where I have my cursor, this is like the Pixar Place Hotel. Now, here's the thing. I've been in there several times. I actually think it's much better than what it was being perceived. And eventually, like, I would like to stay there, you know, for just to say that I have and for content purposes. But the location, do you think that they could eventually, do you think they'll keep it here? Like that'll be adjacent to the Simba lot? Or do you think with the new hotel going into like where like the Toy Story lot would be for the third gate, that they could eventually just knock this down and it would be more theme park space?
I could see it going both ways. They could keep it or they could get rid of it. Now, I wouldn't be opposed to either one of them. How can I say this though? Because it wouldn't be such a horrible idea. I don't know. I'm caught between a rock and a hard place because that's just another hotel for the Disney property. And the Toy Story parking lot, yeah, 75 acres is a lot. But if you think about it, they really have to be honestly careful how they build that hotel. Because 75 acres is all you get. So
True.
I don't know how they're planning on doing that. So it's really honestly, it's kind of a catch-22. And I like what Magical Hop says. He says they also should have made the land Hoth, Tatooine, Endor, and Cloud City, maybe. He's talking about Star Wars. I couldn't agree more with that.
Mhm.
Let me see.
And then I think really quick while you mentioned that, I don't know if it was Remy D. Yeah, it was Remy D that said, what about the planned Bantha ride? I really wish that they would bring something back with the
Yes.
Banthas. I don't care, in some format. I was really looking forward to that, and I was like so bummed that they cut that. Actually, those were the two things I was looking forward to out of everything, because we really didn't know too much about Smuggler's Run and Rise of the Resistance, but we knew we were getting the Banthas and we were getting this very immersive restaurant, and we got neat.
Yeah, exactly. And the best thing right now, the infrastructure for the Banthas is still there for the attraction because they set it up like that. And on top of that, the infrastructure for the restaurant sitting there doing nothing. So they could bring those to life if they really honestly wanted to. Now, will they? Probably not. And it's kind of sad to say that, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
know,
now I'm trying to locate the Toy Story lot.
go. Nope, other way. Keep going.
This way?
No, down.
Oh, down.
Yep, keep
Did
going.
I pass?
And zoom out a little bit. Okay, right there. That's the Toy Story parking lot.
This right here?
Yeah, that whole thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and you're right. They have to be careful, you know, because it is true. And here's the thing. The biggest problem that DCA has ever had was the layout of the park.
Yes.
They built it in a very odd structure sort of way because that's all they had to work with at the time. So, and of how you can kind of tell that this is already kind of oddly shaped.
Yeah.
You know, so that is very true. You add a hotel to this, which, I mean, if you were to put it right here, I mean, you could put it right here, but then that's going to literally just leave you with this for the theme park, which still could be done. But,
okay, but I'm going to make a prediction though. Okay, this is my idea. If they cleared out all this, they got rid of the homes, the existing structures, and that was all 75 acres of theme park space. And Disney kind of pulls the trigger. They get ballsy and they pull the trigger since they already announced and they bragged online they spent $1 billion on AI. They could probably spend another couple billion on, you know, not just buying out all these people and businesses to clear the way.
do you think that was a necessary purchase right now?
No. No, it was not.
I don't think either.
No, it was not. And all those houses and businesses, buy them out, get rid of them, knock out Garden Walk, get rid of it. And if you want to build another hotel, you build it in Garden Walk, and you kind of build like a Disney Springs East to kind of complement the new hotel and this third gate, because it's all in that vicinity right there. And you can build either a monorail or the Skyway to connect this third gate to the rest of the resort. Personally, for me, I like to see the monorail, and I know people will say in the chat and in the comments, no, it's way too damn expensive. They will never do it. I would hope that whoever the next CEO is, whether it's tomorrow or whoever, would actually say, you know what, screw it, we're going to do it. Just to prove a lot of people wrong that they're capable of doing it. But that's my prediction. I would leave all 75 acres to theme park space, get rid of Garden Walk, buy out Garden Walk, build the another Disney hotel there, and make it big if you want, and build a Fantasy Springs East. So like a downtown Disney East. And it's literally right next to Toy Story. It's like perfect.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you have the Toy Story lot, which Disney already owns. And then, yeah, you have these houses that would connect right to here.
Yeah.
You have all this. You have all this. Look at all this. All this. I honestly, this whole area, honestly, I just have one thing to say in the words of Miley Cyrus. I came in like a wrecking ball.
Oh God, here we go. Here we go, folks. You're getting them on a singing rant. Here we go. Oh Lord. But no, it makes perfect sense though. If they want to build another hotel, build it in Garden Walk, build a downtown Disney East. That way you still have shopping there and entertainment, and you have the Toy Story parking lot, which is the third gate, extend the monorail, and then you're golden. You can't get any more golden than that. Yeah, it's going to cost a seriously ton of money, but it's going to benefit us in the long run.
Yeah, it is. It is true, and especially with Garden Walk. Let me see. Where's the?
Yeah, it's literally right there. Right where Toy Story's at. You could build the hotel right there. Like, for real.
Okay. Yeah, I don't need that image. Get out of here.
But if
I'm
you
going to zoom it out. So here's Garden Walk.
Yeah.
Right, all this. So I'm going to zoom it out. Yeah, it's literally north
of the entrance to the third gate.
Literally. Yeah, this could actually be right here, the hotel. Now, this, I believe, right here where my cursor is, this parking lot, this was the cast member lot, and I think this is where
the Eastern Gateway is
Eastern Gateway. Okay, so there you go. You have the Eastern Gateway right here. It's going to run a bridge to come whoop right over here. But then south of that, you have Garden Walk that would be adjacent to the Simba lot. I mean, come on.
No. Toy Story.
I mean, Toy Story. Excuse me. Yeah. Toy Story lot. I mean, come on. That's a monopoly right there.
Yeah. They could easily, again, it all comes down to money, and I get it. It's going to be extremely expensive. But you know what? At this point, if they did that, if I was, let's say I was on the board, advising whoever the next CEO might be, let's say Josh tomorrow, I would tell him that. I would show him maps and say, look at this. You can have a third gate, all 75 acres, theme park space. You can have Garden Walk as a hotel.
I think though, it's not. I mean, I get it. There's probably red and yellow tape with everything, but it's not rocket science.
No.
We can see it with our very own eyes.
Yes. And then you build the monorail.
I think honestly, if he becomes CEO,
I hope
that would be the creme de la creme move. Can you imagine him buying out Garden Walk at the beginning of him being CEO? Like that would get eyes on him.
Well. Okay. Think about it for a second, though. For the last 2 CEOs we had. I'm minusing Chapek, but Bob Iger and we had Michael Eisner. Both gentlemen, as CEO, did massive purchases. Iger bought Fox. Eisner built Euro Disney, aka Disneyland Paris, in Paris.
Yeah.
2 big,
and honestly, even Chapek, he bought that cruise ship, which has now become Disney Adventure.
Yes. So okay, well, so the last three CEOs we've had have made massive investments for the Walt Disney Company. So why not tomorrow, or Dana Walden or whoever it might be, make a massive purchase, buy out Garden Walk, extend the monorail, make Toy Story all 75 acres the third gate, and build a hotel in Garden Walk, and build like a downtown Disney East. You can easily do it. It all comes down to money, though. And 7H John had a comment. He says, buy the properties, level them, get them reassessed, and then build Marvel stuff regardless. Why not?
Yeah, I mean they have. See, that's where I would have done with Marvel. They really, honestly, they shoehorned it into that space of DCA, and also getting rid of A Bug's Land, which I'm not too happy about. I'm sorry. I know it was for young kids, but I actually enjoyed A Bug's Land. I can't help it. Okay. And so, and I get it. It needed to be done with Marvel, but I think they could have waited a little bit, especially with Doomsday and Secret Wars and X-Men coming back and everything. You know, this would have been the perfect time for Marvel. They didn't need to rush it.
No, they didn't. But now that they did, now that we're getting 2 Avengers attractions, I think personally, I'm going to be very honest with you, because me and you have talked about it. I don't like the fact that they're going to try to do the same thing with Avatar, shoehorn it in the Hollywood backlot, even with the bus load and unload area. I rather them throw that into the Simba lot, make it massive and big. And I rather the Hyperion, I hate to say it, they're not going to use it for shows. Give it to Avengers Campus. Give us another e-ticket attraction. Make it a roller coaster. Hell, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Hulk, you name it. Any Marvel character you want, Captain America, you know, whatever your heart's desire, make it a roller coaster, a humongous e-ticket attraction. I don't care. Give us something.
Absolutely. And Remy D says, talking about Doomsday, just saw the second teaser at my second viewing of Avatar Fire and Ash. I'm getting hyped. I am too. And especially with that new trailer that just dropped, I had to actually message Giant Peter and I asked him, is this legit with the X-Men? And he said, yeah, it is. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like,
I saw
that trailer alone is, I have some plans. I'm not going to mention it right now live to everyone. But Conductor, I'll let you know my possible plan for this movie once we're done. But in any case, unfortunately, folks, I got to end this live because I'm going to be doing another live literally in 5 minutes. So definitely jump back on, because I'm doing another live with Lucas Kim. And speaking of that, we are going to discuss a lot of like the streaming services and you know, with Warner and Netflix, and also, you know, we'll even bring up Marvel, because I would love to talk, you know, more of Marvel and everything. But really quick, we have theme park and things. They should have just made the Hollywood backlot a Monsters Inc. land and put Avatar in the Simba parking lot. That's all. They overcomplicated it. They overcomplicated it. You already have a Monsters Inc. Yeah, turn that whole area into Monsters Inc., which I have heard that they were supposed to. Yeah. It was supposed to be a full-fledged Monsters Inc. Or put Zootopia in, one of those. You could do then just move Avatar over to Simba. I'm sorry, it's that easy. It's not that hard.
No, it's not. It's not. See,
Um,
we could keep going.
we can, honestly. Yeah, we literally could keep going. I mean, we're already at 3 hours and 10 minutes, but I can keep going with you literally for probably another 3.
Yeah.
But in any case, folks, we will be back. In the words of the Avengers, we will return, because that's how we do it here. We love doing these shows with you guys. We love the engagement. We love the chit chat. We love the conversation, the opinion, the ideas, everything. We greatly appreciate you. And Theme Park Conductor, I always greatly appreciate you coming on and doing these lives with me. It's always a great time. But if you want to let everyone know where they could find you on social media.
Absolutely. Thank you, Hollow Gelato, for inviting me. And thank you for everybody in the chat, especially Magical Hops, for joining the Conductor Ultimate Fan membership, paid membership on Theme Park Conductor. Thank you for the support. Thank you for our wonderful moderator tonight, Haunted Mermaid 13. And again, our amazing host, George the Disney Italiano, Theme Park Wizard, for joining us for a little bit and telling us his thoughts about Universal Hollywood. And thank you for everybody in the chat that commented. You guys are awesome. And again, Magical Hops is a fairly new channel. He's been doing awesome shorts on YouTube, so definitely go check him out. Show him your love and support and subscribe to him. I just know he's going to come out with some amazing content in the near future. So definitely go check him out. But I'm Theme Park Conductor. You can find me on YouTube and Blue Sky at Theme Park Conductor. You can find me on Instagram at theme_park_conductor. You can find me on X at Theme Conductor, TikTok at Theme Park Conductor 1, and every Sunday at 5 or 7 p.m. for Conductor Sunday live stream as we talk Disney and Universal news. We speculate, we talk rumors, and we have amazing guests like the one and only George from Hollow Gelato and so many others as we break down this news. We interact with the chat. It's so much fun. It's a great time. Come join us sometime.
Absolutely. And again, folks, thank you so much for joining us. And I'm George, the Disney Italiano. And as I always say, in Disney Italiano fashion, stay safe, stay healthy, stay Disney. Italiano